you let me know.
Oh, cool.
And so,
Yes, sir.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. And then we leave it there.
I think you'd be too nervous, yeah, like you said.
Boom, and we're live. UFC motherfucking Bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw and Duane Ludwig.
How you doing, Mr.
Master
Rogan?
Splinter. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Good to see
you
you.
got golf shirts now, too. Look at you, you respectable motherfucker.
I'm 40 now.
Oh, you got to be
I got to step
respectable.
up my game.
Yeah.
People walk into
when
the dojo and he's got to look dressed to the nines, looking like it's the job.
But there's a warning sign on the wall that says explicit language.
Oh, so you let people know. People are going to be
sir.
swearing up in this bitch.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
line up, motherfuckers. Let's go. Bow on the mat first, though.
Do you say that when you teach classes? Do you swear
So I
during your
get
classes?
into it. Yeah, I'm passionate.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. No, you
I
get
do.
fired up.
Yes, that's why I don't teach the kids. We have a separate room for the kids' classes.
That's
Coach Sam
smart,
Coots runs
man.
that. Yeah.
That's so you have a children's program?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the fact that you take regular classes. I watch you on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Bantamweight champion of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Regular classes with
Yeah.
regular people. I see them in there with you like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They're all starstruck and weirded out, going
Man,
through drills.
I love it. I love, obviously, none of his classes are regular, though.
Right.
Even if you're an average Joe coming off the street, like Dwayne's teaching you the same shit that I'm doing.
Right.
But yeah, working out with a guy that's never had a real fight before, he'll always remember that. He'll always get to work out with me. So it's cool, man. I like doing it. And especially at Dwayne's gym, too. It kind of shows, like, the true love that I have for the system and being in there.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of fucking sport other than MMA is that even possible?
Good point. Yeah,
Right?
If it's
Maybe
controlled.
Jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, you could do that, but most people don't know who the jiu-jitsu guys are. I mean, you're fighting on fucking television all the time.
Yeah, and it's almost too easy to have that happen in this sport.
yeah.
To
Right.
where like there's people you shouldn't be sparring with. It happens. That's why a controlled environment's awesome. That's why I feel like the small kind of training camps and teams have been so beneficial because you know exactly who you're working out with
Right.
and who you're getting better with. But there are times to work out with the average guys. Not when I'm getting ready for a fight or don't want to get hurt. Kind of thing. And then his is a very controlled system when we're doing Dutch drills that it's you're not going to go crazy.
There's so many different approaches to training fighters.
Yes, sir.
And you obviously have hit. Well, you guys have like the best fighter-trainer relationship that I know about because you guys are so tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you guys are really a team, whereas there's always some weird animosity with fighters and trainers, and the blow-ups are just like men and women. Like when men and women break up and you fucking bitch, you fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Like that happens
Yes,
with
sir.
that makes me so sad when I see like fighter-trainer blowouts when they separate and talk shit about each other. Like God, that's such a bummer.
I think it's both of them have too big of an ego. One wants to be like the coach, maybe coaching the fighter, wants to be more popular or whatever it may be, And it just I don't know. Whenever Dwayne came into the gym and as soon as he was there from the first practice, I knew we were going to get along. He's a crazy motherfucker. He likes to go hard, competitive, and that's kind of like everything I do.
But you have a very, very well thought out system.
Yes, sir.
Like
Yes,
I was very impressed with like just your documentation of your system, how you have all these different things worked out. Like these aren't like just I mean, there's obviously creativity involved when an actual fight is happening, but your system is so well thought out and so comprehensive.
I feel that's what I'm supposed to be doing is organizing the chaos of a fight so that the regular person can understand what's happening. When I was fighting and training, fighting was scary, and I was very scared of it, so I wanted to make sure I understood what was going on, so I just started mapping it out, and a lot of that came from Sensei Rutan because he had the number system of 3 was jab, cross, hook rather than 3 just being the left hook, so he sparked the initial interest to just start categorizing everything, put things into a system, and it helped out. And
yeah, but you don't
be
sleep.
Successful.
He thinks about it nonstop. He doesn't sleep.
There's only one way to be great.
I'll get a text message in the middle of the night when we're coming up to a fight, and like it'd be like 12, 1 o'clock, and it's even if he's in Colorado, it's 2 o'clock for him. And getting a random text message of what I should be doing for this fight, or what he's watching sparring tapes of what I was doing. We need to change this, need to change that. I mean, this guy cares about my career just as much as I do, and that's why it works.
Yeah, it's true. I want him.
So
to
his
be
system
the best he
changes.
could be.
I mean, it's a great thought out system, but I've never had the same training camp. I don't ever have the same calm. We have like. Your system base is the same, but it always veers off. Like I don't even know what the TJ combo is anymore. I think it's changed.
We
like
always
eight,
gotta change things
changed
up.
like 8 times. So it's always like an add-on or a change. So.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the first time you fought Renan Barão when you won the title, and Duane and I had lunch together, And there was a bunch of people at the table, but Duane didn't even know they were alive.
Nope.
He wasn't even paying attention. He was just telling me exactly how it was
focused.
going to go down. And he was just talking about all the things they've been, and his hands are moving, and his shoulders are twitching.
Trying to be
his
calm
eyes
now.
are moving around back and forth, and he was going 100 miles an hour with his voice. Just blah, 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 blah. I was like, wow, dude, you're geared up. And he goes, he's going to fuck him up. He's going to fuck him up.
For sure.
I mean, you see the emotion that he shows inside the octagon after
Yeah.
the fights, you know. So that's how much he cares going into it. That's how nervous he is, you know. And like I said, if you have a coach that cares that much about you and your career, then you don't let it go.
Yeah, when you were in Sacramento and then you moved to Colorado, you have basically kind of had to start from scratch. A lot of people obviously know who you are. You're a well sought out trainer, but you were opening up your own place from
Yes,
scratch.
sir.
And now that place is fucking mobbed and you're
Yeah.
expanding.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, we're expanding and just continuing to grow and have a good positive outlet for people to explore their soul, right? That's why I'm here, is to teach martial arts. So I'm glad everyone else is realizing that as well, and I can cross paths with ninjas like TJ Dillashaw and help them become better martial artists. And it's just the good. I'm 100% living vicariously through TJ and all my athletes and everybody under the BMT umbrella. And it's a good way to give back and basically relive another career for the most part, right? So, and that's what we should be doing anyways, paying the positive lessons forward and on to the next generation. And that's the definition of sensei, actually, meaning history teacher, from those who've come before you. So, and to have somebody like TJ as dedicated as he is, it's a true blessing. And that's why I'm all in. He's all in, I'm all in. Let's go.
Yeah, well, it's just rare that you find all-in coach and all-in fighter,
Yep.
and they get together, and you guys have such unique working.
I'm more than all in. Same with you. Like,
Yes,
I'm like
sir.
addicted, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, like, if I'm not completely, like, full-blown into it, I mentally am fucked when I get home, you know.
Now, coming off of this second victory over Cody, and then being able to stop him even quicker this time, and just all the crazy shit talking that led up to that fight, and
Yeah.
the results of the first fight, I mean, that's got to be very satisfying to you that everything is going according to plan.
Absolutely, man. It is.
mean,
Especially with the
obviously.
whole build-up, you know. It was like 2 years of just bullshit
Mhm.
having to deal with that in my life. And that's not the kind of person I am, you know. I'd rather
Yeah.
be in the mountains, you not be able to get a hold of me hunting or just camping. And like, if I could disappear, I take the advantage to do it, you know. So that crazy attention and just like the shit talk and the TV show, them accusing me of everything, like
Yeah.
that took a lot, you know. And so for all that to be like taken off my shoulders feels great.
For you, though, that's got to be a real feeling of like retribution too. Like no matter what they said, like
Yeah.
you had the right idea. They might not have been happy
Yeah.
that you decided to do it for yourself, and the right move for yourself was to go to Colorado and be with Duane. But obviously you were right.
Yeah. Oh, 100% I was right. I mean, that's why I made the decision. I'm definitely, you got to be selfish in this sport. You got to do what's best for yourself.
In
And
some ways, without fucking people over, you
Yeah.
have to be selfish.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have to know what's best for you. And then,
Right.
so the ultimate decision for me was when I got an ultimatum. You know, like Uriah knew how much I like training with Duane. He knew how great it was for my mentality, and we just vibed right away, you know, and they didn't. And so when he gave me the ultimatum, like, look, man, you're either doing your camp with Duane or you're doing it with us. So I was like, well, then you don't have my best interest in heart. I'm out of here. You know, like I sold my house, bought, when I moved out to Colorado, like I dropped everything and went. Dude, that was tough. You know, that was a tough situation to go through. And I made the right choice. You know,
Well,
proved it.
your decision, the way you approached it, was very similar to what you were doing too. Because when I talked to you, you're like, "I'm going to open up my own gym in Colorado." And I remember
sir.
thinking, whenever someone thinks they're going to start from scratch with a new gym by themselves, I'm like, "Ugh." I mean, I wish you well, but damn, that's a lot of work. You know
Hell
as
yeah.
well as anybody.
Yes, sir. I've known since I was a kid I was going to be a world champion and have my own academy in Colorado. Check.
Wow.
it worked
Starting
out.
a gym is
Yeah.
tough, man. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
We've been going through it for the last year and a half down here in Southern California. So
Yeah, and the new place is called
the training lab.
the Training Lab.
But it's spelled
with
funny. It's got
REIN, like rain.
Yeah, because Mark Munoz had rain down in Lake Forest, and Sam Calavita, the guy that I moved down for his strength conditioning, just his crazy mind. He's beyond smart. Like everything he talks about, like I have to be at his house for hours, pretty much doing a podcast with him to figure out what he's talking about, and usually always goes over your head. You know, I've gone, like I said, I'm always full blown. I'm in 100%. And so as soon as he started showing me the science behind what my body needs to do for my diet, my recovery, the days I'm working out, the way I'm doing my strength conditioning, and what if I'm going to go bigger or how far I am from camp, like everything has a rhyme and reason. Like every calorie I eat, every macronutrients I eat, He's got it down, written down. He's like this guy.
Yeah.
He stays up late and works, and he doesn't do it for the money or the pride. Like, he doesn't want anything. Like, we do it out of his garage. You know, it's like an old Rocky style training with Drago science.
I saw that on the UFC countdown videos.
Yeah, man. We're out in the park. You know, we're doing crazy.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was out in the park with him doing a bunch of crazy stuff and a lot of reaction time stuff. And just the way he trains is very, very scientific. And I've seen the gains insanely. You know,
Really?
for as old as I am, I'm the strongest and fastest I've ever been.
How old are you now?
32. And I've been training since I was 8, you know,
Right.
and I never got into diet, never got into any of this until I started picking Sam's brain. And I think it's not bro science either. We're not like, oh, I think I feel better.
Right.
I'm testing myself. You know, I've boosted my hormones. I wasn't able to get my wife pregnant for 3 years, and it happened in 3 months after meeting Sam. Like, I went full blown. I went so full blown that I created my own like spice company around his diet. You know, like I don't.
What has he got you doing differently? How were you eating before, and what were you doing before for strength and conditioning before you met him?
So it was. I didn't care about what I ate. I don't cut much weight. You know, 35
Right.
isn't a very big cut for me.
What
So
do you walk around at?
like right now, I probably woke up 150 this morning. That's a little bit lighter than normal. But I haven't been doing I bulk up to go 35s. I put on another like good 5 pounds of muscle before I start to even worry about my weight at 35s. But I was just eating whatever, you know. And I used to make fun of Danny for being gluten-free. Like, give me more gluten. I don't care. I'll eat whatever I want. I'm the best, you know. I'll just train harder than everyone. But not only my age, but just learning the science behind it. Now I'm not eating grains, you know, no sugars unless it's simple, like from fruits and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I mean, it's a special diet. I'd say like you like almost go like paleo, keto, kind of, but obviously our bodies can't do that because I need the simple carbs. I need carbs to run off and stuff. But yeah, man, I don't want to give away all his secrets, but yeah, man, he's changed up a lot with me.
You don't want to give away all the secrets, but when it comes to nutrition, like what is different? Like what kind of protein does he have you eating? What portions of protein? How much of it is fat? Well, are you getting your fat from avocado, coconut oil? What are you getting it from?
Oh yeah, a lot of nuts, a lot of coconut oils. They even pre-make my meals, so I don't even think about what meals I'm eating. So
Jesus Christ,
he does all 3 of my meals and 2 of my snacks every day.
And you live in that area when you're in training camp?
Yes, yeah. So I just bought a house in Yorba Linda.
It's a nice area.
Dude, I love it. It's amazing. It's a real good family area, good school district. So that's how you know your life has changed when you're looking at houses for school districts.
Dude,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Trust me.
Being a father's greatest. But I'm lucky.
Change of the whole shifting of your world.
It's everything. Yeah, I mean, it's everything. That's all you think about, you know?
It takes a while to realize you're a different person. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a different person than I used to be.
I remember you made a comment before saying that there was an old banana or a fresh banana or something,
that was
right?
a bit for my act.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's when I realized something. There was 2 bananas, and one of them was like yellow and perfect, and the other one was brown and fucked up. But my daughter loves bananas, so I took that brown fucked up banana and I ate it because I realized that I was putting her above me. And that was I'd never thought about that before. And then I said, because I love my wife, she's an awesome person, but if it's just me and her, that bitch is getting a shitty banana.
That's why I drive a freaking Subaru car, because it's got 5-star crash rating, good in the snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think of the kids first.
Dude,
for sure.
Subaru, they own Denver.
Colorado.
They own
There's
it.
tons of Subarus.
They own Colorado.
But
It's
I did
like-
just get a Tesla. So I'm supporting the podcast. Well, kind of not like I just dropped $50,000. You know, you go on the website, you punch in the information, you put in $1,000 deposit, and then you got to wait for a while for it to be built.
Right.
So it's not like I dropped $50,000, and then I'm gonna lease it through the business anyway. But
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get one for a while.
It's funny, man, how Subarus, like, they've proven themselves in Colorado just for reliability.
They're awesome. Yep. There's a ton of old ones still floating around because they
everywhere.
run.
They
Yep.
just literally, if you go through Boulder, it's like 50% Subarus.
I would say that, yeah.
They've
sure.
just said, let's just cut the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is the best in snow.
Yeah.
Let's stop fucking around. They never break.
Yeah.
Fucking Japanese cars, man. They never. I've had 3 Lexuses. Never had a single problem with any of them.
Yeah, it's a
nice.
good built car.
Over like 15, 20 years, I've had Lexuses. They never fuck up.
Perfect.
They just start every time. No fuck ups.
300,000 miles on it, it's still gonna run.
Yeah, other cars you get in, the windows roll halfway down. What the fuck's going on? Ding, ding, ding. Lights go off in the dashboard. What is this? And it shuts off. Fuck.
Put black tape over it. You won't
Yeah.
see it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know,
With the dash.
I don't know. It's got to be difficult to build cars. Speaking of cars, does everybody know you have that fucking thing outside? Are you allowed to talk about?
Oh, yeah, I'm allowed to talk about it, yeah.
You got one of my favorite cars ever.
Dude, I love it.
NSX.
It's amazing car.
That thing's a spaceship.
It really is, man.
Spaceship.
Dude,
That's a real spaceship.
It's a real fun car.
Doesn't it? What are we talking about? It has 4 engines. 3 of them are electric. I mean, it is a crazy.
And it's got that twin turbo
vehicle.
V6. I mean, it's only got high 500s in horsepower. But
There it is. Look at that fucking thing.
But it
Only got high 500s.
But the torque on it is
sounds?
insane because it's a 2 electric motors. So off the start, it's so fast. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
Jesus!
It's fast, dude.
It's so good looking too.
Yeah.
I love the way they look. They look like a car that's supposed to be built in 2018.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that shit's from the future.
It took them a long time to create that car. I mean, they stopped making the second generation NSX like what?
2005.
Yeah.
I had one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's
I
why you're a
had 2
huge
of
fan of
those.
them too, yeah.
Yeah. I had one in the early 90s, and then I had one in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you like the early 90s or 2000s?
No, I like the headlights better than the newer one.
Okay.
But they're all awesome.
Yeah.
They're just, it's not a fast car. Like if you buy it, I think it had 270 horsepower.
Okay.
But it's all aluminum. It's mid-engine. It sounds amazing when it gets high, like high in the high revs. But it doesn't sound like it's not like an old Mustang. It's like fuck you, like metal as it driving on the street. It's like a sophisticated sound.
Yeah.
But a cool sound. The VTEC engine.
That was my one problem with the new NSX was how quiet it was because it's a hybrid. So I'm like I said, I was the one of 3 cars in the United States right now that have a custom exhaust for it to make it sound a lot better. This guy out in Chicago, a B-Rogue, I think it is, has designed an exhaust for it.
You know, that car is also, even though it's an Acura, that car is made and designed in the United States.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
cool.
factory's in Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a total American car.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
awesome.
under the Acura. I mean, it's like, what is American anymore? I mean, I don't even understand it
Every time I
anymore.
order stuff, it's always from China or Pakistan or something. So,
But it's also like the parts. Like, are all the parts made here?
No.
Everything?
No
You know,
way.
like
Assembled.
That's an issue with Harley Davidson, right? Trump wants us to ban Harley Davidsons now.
I didn't know that.
Boycott Harley Davidsons.
Really?
Yeah, because Harley Davidson is going to shift their factories to somewhere to make some part of it, or maybe all
Shouldn't
of
he
it.
be talking with Elon Musk and saving the world?
I don't know. I don't think anybody could do Trump's job. I don't think anybody can be president. I think it's stupid.
There's
It's
no way
stupid to
that-
ask one person to have that much responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
That person, there needs to be like 10, 15 people to handle that
At
job
least.
for sure.
Maybe 30.
There's
Yeah.
no way I'd ever want the pressure of that job.
Fuck that
There's
job.
no way.
Fuck that
I
job.
wonder how much he's actually doing though.
I don't want to know how much pussy he's getting. I really want to know. Because I don't think he's just stopped getting pussy. He's like, I'm Trump.
Yeah, for sure. He's
I
still
mean-
on the roll.
There's got to be, I mean, whether him and Melania still hook up, she seems upset with him. It's interesting as a drama. As you watch it all go down, like, is the investigation closing in on him? Are they going to put him in jail? Or is he going to be like, fuck you, I'm getting in my spaceship, I'm flying away? I don't know.
For
man.
sure he has a spaceship.
Well, if he doesn't, he's trying to find out if he can get one.
Oh.
A gold one that says Trump
That's
on
why
the
he's
side
got to
of
work
it.
with Elon Musk again.
Yeah.
See, he got a spaceship
Elon
real quick.
bailed on him when they got out of the Paris Accord. Yeah, the climate accord. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
see
enough
that.
about this. to
I don't know
talk
how your
intelligently.
brain
either.
holds on to even that much information.
I
Man.
don't
You
know
remember,
either, man.
You remember everything.
I remember too much. It's a
Yeah.
problem. I
Yes.
don't remember shit. Like my wife will tell me from Tuesday. I'm like, what? You told me that? She's like, we were standing right here. She'll like go over all the details because she remembers all of it. I'm like, okay, I guess you're right. Okay.
Had all for sure.
But I'll tell you, in 1852,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pull up some facts and stats.
some stupid stats.
That's how I am. Like when it comes to martial arts, I feel like I understand, have a good grasp on what's happening. But outside of martial arts, I don't know that much.
Yeah, but that's probably good, man. You know, I think
For what I
there's
do,
something, there's some real power in that, having a singular focus. I think in order to be great at something, you have to be that way.
I wouldn't
you
say
can be spread too
singular,
thin.
but I would say very dominantly focused.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you're right.
Because if I was only thinking about MMA, I would not be here. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
be
that's a
fighting.
good point, right? Like you need some other things that interest you to relieve the pressure.
Have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too much and you snap. I mean,
What is the best one for you?
escape wise?
Yeah.
Jumping on my Malibu boat in my backyard in Colorado and wake surfing and just getting out,
yeah.
or hunting. Both those. I like getting out. I just went and hiked around in the mountains of Colorado I only got to do 2.5 days because I'm too busy, but by myself, no one else. First time I ever hunted the area. I scouted it like 3 days before the camp, but just went out by myself. Didn't have a cell phone reception, nothing, just to your own thoughts for 2.5 days.
So this time of year, archery mule deer, was that what it was?
Yeah, so I tried getting a elk tag in Colorado, but I didn't draw. I did draw a mule deer tag for the same area. But it's heavily dominated elk, so it's hard to get a mule deer there.
Yeah, it's hard to get those two to coincide with each other, but that's hard hunting. That's mountain hunting. That's the real deal.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're going from 8,000 to 10, 11, 12,000 feet. You know, hike 2 or 3 of those mountains, and you're toast when you get back.
Hey, man, when you do that, bring that Shroom Tech Sport. That Onyx Shroom Tech Sport, any cordyceps mushroom supplement, anything along those lines, that's literally how it came about. They realized these high-altitude cattle herders were realizing that their cows were more active when they were eating these certain mushrooms. And that's the cordyceps mushroom. We actually grow. We don't grow, but we
the company buys it from someone who grows it.
They grow it off caterpillars.
Oh, no way. They grow off the caterpillar?
Yeah, it's fucking weird shit, man.
All cordyceps mushrooms are grown that way?
I don't know about all, but a lot of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they grow them on caterpillars, so they're definitely not vegan. Unless... Yeah, I mean,
I take Shroom Tech and Alpha before every session.
Is that a plant-based, like?
It's fungal-based.
Okay.
But
mushroom. Duh.
Yeah, mushrooms eat. They take in air, and they breathe out carbon dioxide like we do. Okay. They're closer to animals than they are to plants. This is a whole different cat. You ever listen to Paul Stamets?
No.
Oh my God! I did a podcast with him. Strap yourself in. Take 3 hits. Hold on tight. Buckle down, and listen to that guy's podcast. He's a real mycologist, like an actual scientist who studies mushrooms, and he's amazing. So that's how cordyceps mushrooms are grown.
Okay.
Where's the caterpillar underneath that?
No, you can just buy. That's a culture.
That's a culture of them.
Yeah, I thought it would have a caterpillar in there.
Oh, okay. So this is for your home.
Yeah.
You could. That's probably even better, right? You get it fresh.
I don't know how you make it. But
I don't know how to make it either. A lot of dudes grow shrooms though. It's pretty easy apparently.
Yeah.
But just it's a phenomenal supplement, and if you're doing anything high altitude, it will absolutely increase your endurance. That is one of the only supplements that I'll tell people, look, if you're skeptical about any of this shit, please, I want you to, before you work out, an hour before, you take 4 Shroom Tech Sports and get ready because you're going to have an extra gear. You got 1 extra gear in training. It's like 1 extra push.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I take them before every session with TJ. It's Shroom Tech and Alpha Brain.
It's the B12, it's cordyceps mushrooms, B12, and adaptogens, and those are all really important things for energy. So does Calavita have you doing all kinds of supplementation, and what has he got you taking?
So everyone's got a different supplement plan because he does a hair analysis from us and decides.
Jesus Christ, he's a scientist.
Everything's got numbers, man. Everything.
Hair analysis.
Yeah, and so
love it.
So my supplement base would be different than Duane's. I mean, a lot of us have the same aminos, we have the same creatine. Obviously, depending on where you're going for a fight. That kind of stuff. But when it comes down to what's in your body mineral-wise, like I might have more magnesium or more this or more that, and he gets our body back to homeostasis. So we'll take out what we have too much of. I might need more vitamin B.
Was there any examples of things you have too much of?
I have too much arsenic in my body.
Oh, what were you eating?
I think it's rice. I think the rice is given a lot of, because rice is heavily, because it's grown in water. And so the arsenic's coming out of the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's right. It could be from my tattoos as well. I mean, like the
really?
ink. Yeah, the ink has arsenic in it.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, man. The only person that have more arsenic in my body than me in our camp was Cub Swanson.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's all covered in
his
tattoos.
whole back and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. Now, did they find a way to eliminate it? Can you eliminate it?
Yeah, so I'm taking I'm taking a lot of different stuff for it, but I'm taking chlorella. I juice every day. I juice cilantro. Cilantros are good for heavy metals, getting a detox. I'm taking methionine, which is like amino to pull it out of your body. And then he's got some drops I'm on too that I don't even know what they are.
Now, have you got a second test?
Yeah, it's come down by over 50%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So if it's still in your system and it's not, you're not eating rice anymore, so it's got to be from your tattoos.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
or is it just slowly leaving?
You can't. So you can do a collation where they do it by IV, but that stuff's like it's hard on you how fast it comes out. So it comes out in like pimples. It'll come out like when it started coming out of my arm. Like I'd get pimples throughout my arm, and that's kind of your body pushing it. You also push it through your urine and things like that, but it'll come out of your skin.
You got arsenic zit, son.
Yeah.
How weird.
Man. Yeah.
I tested for arsenic once, but I was eating sardines. I was eating a lot of sardines. and apparently they lived around the bottom of the ocean, and they get a lot of the heavy metal poisonings from that way. That's crazy, but it makes sense with rice. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, but everyone's got different supplements. Like, it just depends on what's in your body, like what you need to get back to perfect homeostasis.
Right.
And then he adds like the certain amino or muscle building and ubiquinol and the krill oils and things like that for building new red blood cells and things like that.
What is his scientific background?
So I don't know all of that. I know he worked for NASA. He was like working with the nuclear anti-defense system, and then he missed a Christmas or something and decided to move home and be a school teacher, and he became a calculus teacher.
Whoa.
And he does like a private high school, and people travel all over the world to do his class, to take his class. He won some award to being the best calculus teacher in the world. Like all of his kids on his placement test scored, I don't know if it's perfect or very high, and it was he's just like math. Math will tell you everything behind the numbers. It's not, like I said, it's not bro science. It's to the exact. You know exactly if you're getting better. Yeah.
Well, he must apply that science to his understanding of energy and of intensity, because like the way you guys train, it's very intense, very explosive. It reminds me a lot of what I'm seeing, at least, of like Marv Marinovich's type training, like a lot of plyometrics. A lot of things along those lines. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. But then we're also doing deadlifts and cleans, and we're doing a lot of stuff, man.
And he mixes it up a lot?
Yeah, depending where you're at in your camp, how your body, also the recovery. So the recovery is huge. He listens to our body while we're sleeping, so he gets a report every morning of how
he's next to you in the bed.
Pretty much, he'll know, like if you had a couple glasses of wine last night, like why are you not recovering? He just like knows, or if he knows you're too stressed out, he knows, like he'll tell me when I'm gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Like he's caught on to me getting sick before I got sick.
Really?
He's like, oh, your body's about to crash. Like you need to like take the next 2 days off. Like you need to really rest.
He helped keep TJ in that last fight.
Yeah.
Helped repair some injuries. Right, we have to talk about him, but he without Sam, that fight may have been different.
Probably my last 2 fights.
Yeah, you're right.
I've been dealing with some serious stuff the last couple of fights, but I've been able to keep my body very, very strong.
I know you also spent some time with Dr. Neil Reardon down in Panama, and was that for the same type of injuries?
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So a combination of the science of stem cell and Dr. Neil Reardon, as well as Mora here. I got stem cells in the States. I got it in Panama. Like I've had to do a lot to hold myself together, kind of thing. And I feel great. Because of the way I'm training and
I don't think people understand the kind of strain on your body a fight camp puts. It's fucking crazy. I mean, if I worked out the way you guys did once, I'm wrecked for a week.
But that's
you guys
why,
are doing 2 a days every day, constantly going at it, and then there's ice baths. What does he have you doing? Sauna, ice bath? What does he have you got?
For our recovery, mainly it's just most of the time taking the time off. But we have, it's always changing. It's always evolving too. He's got like this iMile Pro we do for like some sort of stim on our muscles. I do light therapy.
Stim, like electrical stim?
I do light therapy. There's this new place he's starting to work with down in Mission Viejo called like the O2 Recovery Center, where we'll do cryo, we'll do hyperbaric chamber, we'll do was it CVAC or something like that?
Yeah.
A bunch of different stuff we're gonna add to it.
CVAC is a machine we were talking about really recently, where it jacks you up in altitude and then brings you down. It like changes the pressure inside that little tube, and that's supposed to be pretty amazing. Did you have good results with that?
I actually haven't done it yet. So he's telling me now that like we're gonna add this now. Like it's always like every time I come back to camp, it's like we're adding the next step. He doesn't do it all at once.
As it should, right? Life's always changing and evolving.
It's
you gotta stay
never
with the times.
It'd be like you teaching me the BMT black belt system right away, without knowing any of it. So he like gets my body like slowly adapted to certain things, and he adds to it.
What about massage?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of massage?
He doesn't have me do it. I just do it because I love it.
Yeah.
But I always do deep tissue for the most part, and then a lot of the like mat, like the stretching. Kind of like
Thai massage type stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Thai massage, and then exactly. I forgot they stretch.
That's
you out
amazing.
really well.
They stand on your back and pull your arms up. And you're like,
I have a student, Brett Tomasini. He is by far the best massage therapist I've ever come across.
He's
really?
He's badass.
There's some ones out there.
Man, he's got a black belt in massage therapy. That's for sure.
like a good massage shouldn't feel that great to the average person. Like it's gonna hurt.
It's supposed to hurt.
You know, but it's how you're gonna feel afterwards. And I actually now have learned to enjoy the pain kind of thing. Well, yeah, actually, so I've been working this whole last camp too. A guy that really helped me get to my camp was I'm an idiot right now.
That's good.
Drawing a blank, but Javier, he did a lot of body work on me that hold me in place as well too.
Body work as opposed to like what is body work as opposed to regular massage?
So he's more of like the nervous system of all your pathways, and really find out what's weak. Like he'll tell me like something that's like weak before I even let him know before the massage kind of thing.
How can you tell that?
I don't know how I can tell that. I'm not really sure. I'd have to have him tell you.
There's something weird about people that touch people's bodies all the time, and you go, "This is all horseshit," and then they put their arm on your shoulder. What's going on with your shoulder? You're like, what? What do you mean? And like it's very very tense up here. You have an injury you're nursing? Like what?
Yeah, how'd you know
Yeah,
that?
how the fuck do you know?
There's that sixth sense for sure. Something's going on.
They just get used to like the difference between your left side and your right side. You're like, oh, something's going on here. It's like everything else, right? Like your understanding of what an athlete is capable of is so different than a person who doesn't train. And I think it's got to be. Yeah. You know, we can't imagine someone being able to touch your pec and go, oh, you've got a tear. You got a muscle tear. You're like, what?
But there's also those massage therapists that'll do something like, how's that feel? You feel better? It's like, oh, yeah, I guess I feel better. You know? But this guy will find my weaknesses without me even telling him. He'll know, like, things that I need to get worked on. He knows my hips are aligned. Like, kind of like almost like a chiropractor as well, but he doesn't do chiropractic work.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't like chiropractors, huh?
I just don't think it's real.
I love them. I love to get lined back up.
Good.
I've had my neck just tweaked and not be able to do anything, and then get lined back up and be ready to go.
Yeah,
it's definitely helped.
Massage,
me.
I think, works better than anything. But it's just too much about what chiropractic medicine was, how it started. It started by a guy who was a magnetic healer who learned about it in a seance, and then his son murdered him and took over the business.
Turned out to be something good.
But they're
people are crazy, huh?
The good thing about, it's interesting what's good and what's not. You know, what's provable it's very interesting.
Yes, sir.
People always say that it's a part of the National Institute of Healthcare. Is that what it is? A part of their recommended program, but it's not anymore. They removed it. There's no real evidence that shows it works. The thing about it is though, it's like I just adjusted myself. Like I adjusted my knuckles. That's literally what they're doing to your back.
I've had, over 100 fights or whatever, and have my neck jacked up and wrestling and shots, and I've had pretty significant injury where I couldn't change lanes and turn and drive and then go get adjusted and be back to square one.
I think I've done the same thing with massage. I think there's something to people touching you and working on stuff and loosening you up in a way that you can't do. And I'm not saying that there's not good chiropractors out there that really understand all the other things like cold laser therapy and different kinds of manipulation in terms of muscle stretching and what is that type of Rolfing? Rolfing is legit.
What's that?
Brutal massage. Just a brutal massage. But it's one of those things where it breaks everything down, and then after it's over, everything's very loose. Okay. And there's a lot of chiropractors that are really good physical therapists too. But just the underlying principles of what the chiropractic medical practice is. It started off with nonsense. The guy thought he could fix everything by adjusting you. Oh, something wrong with your eyesight? Let me fix it.
Yeah, there's going to be limits for sure.
Let me fix it. I'm going to crack your neck and you're not going to have bad breath anymore. That's stupid.
But if he tells you to believe it, people are like, oh, nice, I do.
Right. The power of belief is huge.
Yeah. That's part of the problem. Yes, it's one of the things they prey on, and one of the things that they use is, and not necessarily. There's levels to this whole thing. It's not just regular chiropractors.
There are levels.
There's different kinds of air quote healers.
Yes, sir.
That have different systems that they think they can push down the middle of your back and cure your pancreas. So much horseshit. Yeah. But it's not real. But there are a bunch of things you can do that are real, and massage is one of them. Massage. It's absolutely a fact that it's helped loosen people up and relax people, and just something about being manipulated like that. Like if somebody really digging their elbow into your tissue and loosening everything up. We got this fucking Tim Tam. You ever use one of these?
Yeah. I have a Tim Tam, and I have the Theragun as well too.
This is the mother. Yes,
I think I have yours.
Yeah. Was that one? Okay, cool. Yeah.
He probably doesn't have it. I think I have his.
That thing is the shit. Yeah. That thing is amazing.
Faraz, thank you.
Oh yeah, Faraz Sahabi in the house.
You sent me one as well.
You have like anything that's like knotted up and really bothering you, you gotta hammer it with that fucking thing, and then afterwards it's like, ooh.
One of my students made one of those out of a little drill or a gun.
Sawzall.
Yeah,
Sawzall,
Sawzall, I think.
Sawzall,
Yeah.
yeah.
Put a tennis ball or something on it. I
Yeah,
was
that's
like, wow.
essentially what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the same kind of motor that's going
He's
up
like,
and
don't
down.
buy that.
Yeah.
I got to make this thing for $30. I'm like, I'm good.
Just gotta
Where's
saw your
Brad?
fucking leg off. Yeah. So when you guys are doing camp, do you move down to California for the? What do you do? 6 or 8 weeks? How many weeks are you doing? 3 months.
I do a lot. I do more than I probably should. But I mean, I'd almost do camp before I get into camp, kind of thing.
Really?
Like, I like to
get yourself in shape.
Yeah, I like to be in shape when camp starts. You know,
We're always
So I
developing
would say
new things.
this camp, Duane came out started coming out 9 weeks before the fight, maybe 10. But
Yeah.
9.
It was a little extra, more than 2 months. But
Yeah, and
but
he would do 3 days. He'd come out, fly out.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Or no, I'm sorry. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So be out here 3 days, back home 4 days.
Yeah.
Splitting time.
Yeah.
But it worked out well. With that, I was able to find which I was already aware of. Slow down, motherfucker. Sorry, I get excited.
You're doing great. No problem.
I got my notepad right here.
Before
I just
Slow
feel like
down.
I'm in the corner.
Podcast,
Yeah.
folks. I want to tell you,
But,
Dwayne was like, I got to talk slower today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk slower. People always complain I talk too fast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk slower.
But you get a lot of information in that 1 minute of corner time.
See that? You know what? That's what I talked about because that's why I
That's
talk
true.
fast. Yeah,
That's
this is
true.
why I'm wired. Why I talk fast. I got about 30 seconds to talk and relay information, which is also
Yeah.
why I have the actual system and code all the drills and combinations so I can condense it. Right? I don't
Right.
want to say jab, cross, hook, cross, 3. And
Like,
that
for
came
instance,
from Boss,
you can
right?
get in the
Right.
corner for my AC Tomorrow fight, tell me what to do, and I walk out there, and 30 seconds later, I knock him out,
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
it is, you know, like because
Yeah.
you're able to get the information off, and there's a
Yeah.
system to it.
Yep,
So, yeah.
laying out mapping. There's routines and there's patterns of success. You know, there are high percentage drills and combinations that have been proven to be successful. Well, how about we just keep practicing those? Obviously, it's up to the athlete to find the timing, distance, and accuracy to pull them off.
And
but
you have to believe.
There they are. Yeah,
You
the
got-
power of the
you
belief,
gotta
right?
Well, you have to believe in the system too. Like I can't be like if I didn't believe exactly what Duane was telling me, or that he can see it, that I know he can see it because he's good at it. Like, or why are you really going to go out there and do what he says?
That's one thing I had with Boss too. Whenever he gave me information, I did not doubt it at all, as I knew he's been there and done that. And it wasn't stuff that he felt he would do. It's stuff that he knew that I should do, right? And I feel I understand TJ, and I could give him the proper information for the proper time. But also, I know when to sit back and let him flow as well, right? And when to chime in and give him information. And he's really good about receiving information. As a case in point, the first fight with Cody, between the rounds, we had to drastically change things, and what we needed to change was just the timing of our attack. It's pretty simple. To me, fighting is now. I don't think I know it all. I mean, I know I don't know it all, but it's all I know, and I know a lot. That's for sure. But I was going back to earlier, traveling out here 3 days a week and back home 4 days. Again, I found a really good. Fuck, slow down, motherfucker.
You're doing
Back to
great.
square one. I found a good rhythm of us as far as pulling off information, as far as the pads, the class, sparring. And then so it's like we're layering it up, we're practicing it in class, now we're sparring with it, and then going back to what we need to work on. So I found a really good pyramid for TJ to retain, or for anyone to retain the information, kind of condensing it into 3 days. It was really fun. I look at it as an experiment. What's the most optimal way for someone to perform and fight safe and effectively? It's fun. I love this shit.
There's a lot of people that want to go to these big giant super camps, and I know with Alpha Male you were in a big giant super camp. What you're doing now is very different, and this is something that obviously Stipe Miocic was
Yes.
doing. There's a lot of other fighters that are doing where a lot of it is based around them. Mighty Mouse in particular. He's another one. I mean, there are unquestionably professional fighters around them, but it's not like they're in a building with 6 other world champions and there's a bunch of savages that are coming up that and everybody's trying to kill each other. It's a different setup. Like a lot of it is geared towards you.
It is, and it's just the natural way it kind of happened this time.
Is this better? What is better? Is it better to be in the doghouse with all the alpha male guys where it's all just animals trying to kill each other?
Quality over quantity.
Yes, if it's not for money. You know what I mean? When these big gyms turn into something that wants to make money, then the real martial arts comes out of it. When you have coaches and people running it that are really going to not want to, like, I have a gym in the training lab, so I'm very fortunate that I have Steve Martin, a guy
Steve's
that's
awesome.
he's put his heart and soul into this thing to keep this building open, because we're not making money. We don't have it's pretty much private. I teach a kids class, and we do adult boot camp kind of things just to turn the lights on, just so the bills are paid, and then some sponsors here and there to pay the coaches. Like, we're losing money, and thank God that we have a guy like Steve Martin that's willing to see our dream, that we want to build a team that is not based around money, that it's whatever money we end up making from the gym is going every dollar into the coaches. You know, like I don't want to make money. I don't want that awkward relationship between me and Juan Archuleta that I'm making money off him, you know what I mean? Because then you get that weird business relationship rather than us just having a real relationship, like me wanting him to get better, him wanting me to get better, which I felt like maybe it used to kind of be that way at Alpha Male, but it's turned into a money thing to where I don't know, man. It wasn't like there wasn't like before we got Duane, we had no coach. It was just us coaching each other kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that's not usually the best thing.
No, we were just beating each other. We were sparring 4 or 5 days a week. Really? Yeah, dude. I mean, I picked up stuff fast because of it, you know? Like, you had to learn how to fight.
Right.
And I'm aggressive, and I like that stuff, but it's not smart, you know?
Right, in terms of, like, your overall wear
health,
and tear, your health.
Longevity in the sport.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I've turned it into a real professional athlete sport instead of it just going to the gym and going ham. Like I can go everywhere from my diet, everywhere from the way I work, the times I work out, my schedule, my recovery. Luckily, I'm having Duane that's able to travel out with me. I built an awesome facility right now with Mark Munoz circling back around being a coach, Daryl Christian, Felipe De Monica, and all these guys. Like, it's not money driven, so it's doing great right now. We're awesome. We're doing awesome. So.
Yeah, he really does have a really good crew of people around him in all aspects.
And this is in what? It's not Yorba
Southern
Linda near there.
We're in Anaheim.
And oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when the UFC's in Anaheim, you're a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Oh yeah, we're right there. I mean, even fighting in LA was nice. I mean, didn't have to fly nowhere. It was cool to fight in your backyard.
Dan Lambert did all this before anybody. I mean, Dan Lambert, in terms of like throwing money at things and putting American Top Team together.
That's right. Top Team, yep.
I mean, that guy, he spent a fuckload of money, put fighters on salary, and then recently built a giant place with dormitories and everything. You know, that guy, out of all the people, he's probably the pioneer of digging deep into his wallet and putting together a crazy gym setup like that.
Yeah,
but it's a different kind of crew. You know, you go down there, I mean, there are a ton of world champions. There's a ton of professional athletes, and you know, you're not necessarily going to get the singular specified training that you're getting right now. Yeah,
for sure. And then, but we're also really you could be really good, and we want you in our gym, but if you have the right personality as well, too. It's not only about your skill to come and train with our gym and be a pro athlete there, but you also got to vibe with us. You know? If we don't have the vibe, then it's all egos are going to get involved, and the gym's going to split up. This guy's going to go here, this guy's going to go there. So
how do you determine that? Do you get to know them first and then let them in the gym?
Yeah, we always let everyone in to see how they're going. If they don't work out, then we tell them, like, hey, man, this isn't the spot for you. You know, we don't have an open spot for you.
You can see it, though, with the drills and the Dutch drills and just the drilling in general, how caring somebody is, right? And there's 4 rules I ask my guys to follow, and they're all rules that revolve around accountability. It's show up on time, get better, get tired, take care of your partner. You do those 4 simple things and we're good. It's pretty simple.
Those are very good rules. Yeah, it's that sport that attracts people who are troubled.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, the Ronins, the misfits.
Yeah, and then
it's
a
good
lot
for
of people
rehabbing.
that have been abused that want to get people back. You know, there's a lot of that. You remember a lot of when I was younger, the more aggressive, meaner people, when you would find out more about them, you'd find out there was child abuse, dad used to beat him up, stepdad beat him up. There was always something that they were trying to get back at people for.
I feel like the sport is changing enough now that it's a very common thing that kids want to do, and so now you have, you know, kids with a good upbringing wanting to do it. Yeah,
it's a challenging possible career now. And a fighter, you know, a young kid coming up sees someone like you, and they go, okay, look at this guy. He's 2-time world champion, super respectful, articulate, real friendly, doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, likes, you know, shaking hands and taking pictures and being around people. Oh, you don't have to be an asshole. Like, you don't have to be some brooding asshole.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get paid for it one of these days, but...
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
Yeah, you get paid more for being a complete asshole, you know, and if you don't mind making a fool of yourself, then you'll get paid more, you know? But,
well, like Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the extreme to where, like, what? Come on, dude.
Colby's hilarious. I don't know. I think it's funny, man. When he actually went to the fucking White House and put the thing on Donald Trump's desk, gave him the belt, I was like, that is hilarious. He actually did it. Yeah. You know what would really be funny? If it turned out this whole time he was a Democrat. And this was all just a big act. Really super pro-gay rights. And
so if it would have been a Democrat
rights
in the office, he'd be a Democrat then, yeah. Whoever's in the office is who he's going to
Well, he's just doing it only specifically just for promotion.
Yeah.
Him and Tyron Woodley's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy.
So you know the videos on the internet, the one black dude that says I'm Tyrone and fuck this or fuck that, whatever. You know the internet guy. Oh, they're hilarious. Can you pull up one of those videos of Tyrone? They're so funny.
How would you search
it? Would have been funny. Oh, I'm sorry.
You got to explain what the fuck you're talking about.
So,
what am I searching? I'm searching for Tyrone.
Fuck Tyrone. He's hilarious, right? Watch, he'll pull one up, but it would have been
Tommy
funny.
Toehold?
No.
No?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Jamie?
You do?
But,
Thank goodness, because
it
I
would
have
been
no
funny
idea.
as hell. Okay, so watch this first. Watch one of these.
Give me some. I'll give you some. Hold on. Bring it from the beginning.
This is a long compilation of it.
Oh.
He just like kind of walks around and bullies people, sort of.
And that's how you make a video.
Kind of a joke.
Is that him though?
Yeah.
That's not the regular Tyrone, huh? This is another one.
It's a different Tyrone.
This is a different guy?
Yeah, this is a different one. The other one's he's a different guy.
I thought, pretty sure
No, he'll do. He'll go.
I mean, you just type in Tyrone black dude in the internet. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of videos.
It's
What does
hilarious.
this have to do with
But so
Tyron
it would have been
Woodley?
funny because if that's not the best clip. Because if he would have won the belt, or no, he won the belt, right? I'm Tyrone, and this is my motherfucking belt. So if you watch these videos and an actual good video of the Tyrone, and if Tyrone would do that in the cage, I've been thinking about this for a while. That should have been so fucking funny. But it's not funny. You don't know the damn videos. Shit, Jamie, pull that up. Like that.
That's it.
I watched the Rogan show. That was the guy. I didn't mean to steer your line, Mr. Rogan. Sorry, sir.
That's hilarious. Yeah, he was almost after he won, like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Well,
he
I'll
knew,
fight
right?
anybody UFC wants me to fight. But
Yeah.
it's just weird, you know. Is this another one?
That's him.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one where he gets beat up for saying he's gonna
Oh,
fuck
really?
somebody's wife or something like that.
Oh,
I'm Tyrone.
here it is.
And fuck this Luke Kane looking motherfucker. I'm here to fuck your wife. Long dick style. What you looking at him for? Fucking serious? Huh? What's up? What's up? You wanna make a move? Well, do something. What's up? Do something. Well, I ain't scared. I'm Tyrone. And fuck these kids.
What happened to that one?
I didn't make the video.
Oh, this is like terrible editing.
He just does funny shit, right? But
It seems like he's just mean and stealing. I don't think
Yeah.
that's funny, Dwayne.
no, they're funny. They're funny.
He's a mean
Well, here we go.
stealer.
Oh shit!
Okay, let's
All right.
kill this. I don't
Not as
find
funny
this-
as I thought.
I don't
Sorry,
find this
guys.
even remotely funny.
Shit.
It seems like a bad sketch.
Some of them.
Anyway,
maybe they're funny on the
Tyron
spaceship.
Woodley is not that guy.
No, he's not. But it would
Although
have
if
been
he
funny.
was, it would probably sell more tickets.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I'm
Probably.
saying.
Yeah. See, that's where it tied in from like the
Yeah,
Colby
'cause
approach.
he's like super calm and respectful afterwards.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe he was just in a cage fight.
Yeah,
Dude, he shut all that Darren Till hype up quick.
I knew he was gonna win.
I would like to talk to
Did you-
Tyrone or Duke and see if. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
And because how he caught him, because Darren Till, I made a video about this, how Darren Till typically likes to feint and pump and get the guy backing up, get them out of position, and then land the cross, from open stance from southpaw. And there is a slight delay between those 2 to 3 punches that he throws, and I'm wondering if Tyrone did his research and seen
Tyron.
that. Tyron. Does he say Tyron? Not Tyrone?
It's not
'Cause the
Tyrone.
Mr. Woodley.
Right? It's Tyron Woodley.
Tyron, I say Tyron.
There's no
so
E.
now the joke wouldn't have been as funny. Tyron. So that's why you're saying Tyron. Now, I'm wondering if you read that from watching the videos previously and seen that little gap in his combinations, was able to beat him to the
Yeah.
punch, or if he just duck and chucked. I'm curious to see if that was something that they trained and sought out, or because that takes balls, right? He's coming in with his strongest punch, his cross, that he's knocked many people out with, and he just stepped into it and beat him to the punch. That
Well,
takes balls.
Tyron, he always does that strategy of standing against the fence or close to the fence, and then when guys move in, he counters.
Yes.
I mean, he did that with Josh Koscheck. He's done that with a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Rory McDonald was the only guy to shut that down. He figured out a way to shut it down.
He stayed long.
Stayed long, used a lot of front kicks, a lot of jabs, kept his left hand up high to block the right hand, the big right hand. But man, Tyron's just faster than him, way faster
And
than him.
yeah, close
He
his distance
closed
so
that
quick.
distance like lightning, landed that right hand, beat the shit out of him on the ground. It was just shocking to me that Darren didn't know what to do when he was on his back. Like in terms of like
That's how I thought the fight was gonna go. Like him just be on top of him the whole fight. I thought Tyron was just gonna out-wrestle him and be on top.
Well, I thought maybe that was part of the strategy too, especially when you saw them warming up, because Tyron was doing like a lot of like exchanges and then shoots for a double or closes the distance, level changes. Like they did that when he was working with boxing coaches as well. He would hit the mitts and then move in, a level change.
Blended together.
But I was just like Till didn't understand that Darce was coming or didn't know. But then you got to wonder how battered was he? Took that big shot, took a lot of hard elbows in the ground. How much was he really there?
Yeah.
That's the beauty. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say because that Darce was a mile away. I mean, it was there, and then it was there, and then he cinched it up deep. It was never like there was never any separation, never pulling the hands back.
I think Tyron's a lot stronger than him too, able to hold him in that crunch, like hold that
strong.
position. You know.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Reason why he's the champion. But I think that's the way I choose to look at it anyway is having a checklist, right? If you were to build up a mixed martial artist, how much information should they know standing, wrestling, and then on the ground? And they should just check, and know all these basics should be covered before you go fight.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of having a curriculum and, again, a checklist.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think, understanding, I mean, the days of just like being able to just fight someone and not know anything about them, that seems kind of foolish.
Yep.
Like, seems like a massive advantage to study. Like when Cowboy fought Darren Till, he decided to not watch any tape on him. He's like, I hear he's a striker. Good. I love to strike. I'm like, oof. Okay, maybe might want to watch this striker.
Yeah. I'll watch tape in the beginning with Duane, but then I kind of let him continue from there, and I trust his judgment on everything.
Right.
And then when I'm out of fight camps, because sometimes when you watch tape in fight camp, like it can mess with people's heads. Like maybe Cowboy's getting too nervous, and then when it gives him anxiety to watch the fight.
Right.
So you need to have if that's the case, have a coach that's willing that you trust to do that for you.
That's a good point.
Because dude, this fucking sport's a mental mind fuck, man.
Yeah. Of course.
And whatever works the best for you is what you got to figure out.
Is it better for you to fight someone like Cody that you have all this animosity and beef towards and all this shit talking because you get super hyped up and motivated every day? Or is it better to fight someone who you have a lot of respect for, who is just a good challenge?
I think you got to learn to be the same person for every fight. I think it's like control those emotions, even though there was all that coming in, like I'm nervous to fight, like forget all the bullshit, and I had to learn that through my career. I had to learn to take emotion out of it. I mean, even in sparring still, like Duane's always told me, control my emotion, controlled aggression, because you hit me, I want to hit you back. I'm very competitive, you know? So it's something you have to learn how to control, and I've had to do that throughout my career. And I think everyone has to learn to control, either to let go or to pull back, like really control that emotion, to be the same person every fight, mentally, not the same person every fight, but mentally, like in your own head, the same person. But technically, you need to be able to switch it up.
That the mental aspect of it is probably the thing that holds more people back than anything. Like we all know of guys that are just monsters in the gym, and for whatever it was when they would go to compete, they just could never be their full self.
Yeah.
TJ does better in the cage than he does in the gym. Yeah. I did better in the gym than in the cage. Yeah,
what do you think it is that makes you do better?
I love it. I don't know. I mean, I've just taught myself to love this shit. Like I don't know. When I get out there, it's just like I want to be there. Like I know everyone's nervous and like they're like it's the highest highs, but I used to be so nervous that I'd forget like what happened in the fight. But throughout my career, I think after the Mike Easton fights, when I really started to like hone in, or during the Mike Easton fights, when I really started to hone in and have fun and just realize like fuck this shit, man. Like what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna get knocked out. Go for it, have some fun.
Mike Easton?
I don't know.
Guy hasn't been around for a while.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
There's a possible super fight with you and Henry Cejudo that's being talked about.
Hell yeah.
Would you fight him at 125?
25s.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want no excuses that I'm the bigger man. And
well, he probably is bigger than you, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
he struggles to get to 30 or from down to 25. I mean,
25,
he's way over 35.
Especially with the coach I have now, Sam Calvita. It's like I was told I was going to fight Demetrius Johnson the summer before I fought Cody the first time because Cody had to pull out because of his back. Within 3 weeks of time, I got down to waking up to 140 pounds by changing the way I'm working out, changing my calories, changing my macronutrients, and my supplement, like just going full bore. Like I was able to start waking up in the morning 140 pounds within 3 weeks.
And so right now you're about 10 plus pounds heavier than that. Mm-hmm. And how much time would you need? Like if they said, "Hey, December 31st, New Year's Eve, super fight."
Yeah, my coach always wants actual, like he told me like before, after my last fight, I mean, he's 16 weeks, but I mean, obviously we could do it a lot faster. I could have made 25s this last fight with how much water I had in me. The hydration that he's got me going on when I get close to a fight too it's the easiest. I don't do baths anymore. Like to make weight, I walked on the treadmill with plastics.
For how long?
The day of, I'd say 30 minutes. I sat in the sauna a little bit, and then
So you're
walked.
only losing like 4 or 5 pounds, most, right?
Yeah, in the morning. Yeah, probably like 3 or 4 or 5 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a massive benefit to you in terms of your conditioning.
Oh, huge.
You're
And
not-
having
you're
fluid
not
on your brain,
compromised. Yeah.
your cardio,
Yeah.
your muscular contraction and endurance. I mean, everything. I mean, when you deplete yourself like that, like you're talking about Darren Till maybe cutting too much weight, that could definitely be a possibility. You know,
For sure. I mean, he's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Till's a big guy
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
down to 170.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is it's trying to find the right balance where you're big for the weight class, but you're not diminishing yourself really drastically to get down to your weight class.
And the Henry Cejudo thing also entertains me so much because he's a gold medalist. You know, he wants to claim himself as the greatest combat athlete ever. I'm a UFC champion. I'm a gold medalist. Like, I'll go out there and beat you in wrestling. MMA wrestling is completely different. I'm the better athlete. I could beat him anywhere. I know I can watching him fight. So that's what I'm very excited about. I think it's the greatest thing for my name right now. It excites me a lot. It excites me a lot too to be able to show the science behind not only myself but my coach and Duane in the system. Like I'm all in, dude. Whatever we're doing, I'm 100% in. I don't take any shortcuts, and I want to show that. I want to show that I can make 25s and be my best ever as well.
Now, Demetrius is injured, right? He's out for a little while.
Yeah.
So this is one of the reasons why the talk of the super fight is coming up.
Yeah.
Like it is, Demetrius going to need a few months, so you can't have an immediate rematch. So
Perfect.
Have they talked to you about it? Proposed?
You know, there's nothing been like serious, but there's been like hints, and like we did our media tour together, and they put us on camera together and had us talk shit to each other.
Oh, nice.
I mean, they didn't say that, you know what I mean?
But
Because
it's gonna
everything's real.
happen.
Everything we do
Right.
is real. But it's like, oh shit, this is what you guys want,
Right.
you know? And like, you really think you can beat me? Then fuck you, man. Let's do this shit. You know, like that's where I get my motivation from fighting is not the anger, it's the competition.
And does he want to go to 35? Is that
He told me face to face he's willing to do it at 25s.
25?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's what he first
Yeah.
said after the fight. He's like he wanted the super fight, right?
Right.
That's what his idea is. So he said come up to 35s. So I told him, I was like, look, if we're doing this, I'm coming to 25s. So I have no problem with that.
Who's got more street credit to drop a division or to
Street
change a
cred?
division? It's TJ, right? So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it gives you more street cred
For sure.
Well, it certainly
And no
does if you
excuses
win
of the bigger
title.
man. I don't want him
Right.
to come 35s and me whip his ass and be like, oh, well, because he's a 35 pounder.
He's a 35 pounder too.
Yeah, I'll whip your ass. We do
I mean,
25s.
he's a huge 125er. He really is. I mean, you take out the weight cutting, there's not much difference between you two guys.
Yeah.
And when you
Other than how much better I am.
oh shit.
no, but that's true.
Ooh, Henry, hang on. But when you saw him and Demetrius together, I mean, he's a much bigger person.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much weight does he lose?
Who's that?
Cejudo?
Yeah, Cejudo.
I don't know.
No, good question.
He's got to be in the 50s.
When he
They-
shows up to fight week, he looks like he's cutting weight already, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When I show up to fight week, I haven't even really started yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for your pace and your endurance, that's got to be a big benefit to know that your body's 100% healthy going in there in terms of like not being dehydrated. And there's so many guys, you see them on the day of the weigh-in, you go, I don't know how the fuck you're going to fight in 24 hours.
And I think head trauma is a lot more prevalent when you're dehydrated. Like going through camp, like I've known some guys that have cut a lot of weight and it's already have hindered their careers, you know, because you're having those all-out spars. I mean, you have to go as hard as you can in sparring when you get ready for a fight. Like you're going for your timing, you're fighting, right? I mean, you don't do it all the time. There's times to do
So
it.
when you're sparring like a fight.
For the most part. I mean, I'm not
Larger gloves or?
Yeah. No. Well, we've been doing smaller gloves now sparring too, but those puffies that I have, they are I feel like as padded as my 16s.
I would say that,
It depends
yeah.
where they put the padding.
The padding on the knuckles,
I mean,
thicker,
hammer
if not thicker than
yeah.
16
Which
ounce.
company's gloves do you use for that?
Sanibel.
Sanibel? Oh,
Sanibel, yeah.
The one you have. Where's that from?
Well, their office is in New York, but the owner is living out here in California.
Is that a new company?
It's been around. It's fresh. It's somewhat new. It's not brand new. I think they've been around since 2014. But yeah, they make great stuff. I mean, they have their puffy sparring gloves are awesome to be able to get real rounds in. Because when I grapple, I can't do
Right.
full MMA rounds with big puffy gloves on.
With
you know?
boxing gloves.
Yeah, with
right.
boxing
but with
gloves on.
those, they're puffy around the knuckles, but you can still grip with them.
Yeah. You can still grip with them. You got everything. I mean, the only thing that's different is like the padding on your like for like hammer. You don't throw them, but like hammer fist or your thumb. You got to be careful with your thumb. So you really have to be accurate with your punches.
Right. And does it fuck with you if you're working submissions with the extra padding on the knuckles?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, rear naked chokes are harder to get the hand behind the head, and guys can get out of submissions easier because they can grab more of the glove, even though they're not supposed to.
Can I say something real quick? Because TJ was saying, he spars hard sometimes, right? So I try to have my guys, if you know what I'm saying, sparring hard, because you do have to spar hard, but we would have him do that once a week. But we do a whole bunch of sparring drills throughout the week as well to get better technically, understand the distance and the timing. But you do need to spar hard, but it's not like you're hurting the guy. If he's rocked or whatever, you're not going to knock him out, but you're throwing with good force too, because you do have to experience that for sure.
If he's rocked, you just hit him to the body.
Yeah, correct. No, for sure. Yeah, if you rock him, then hurt him to the body. And this is one thing I'll say: if you get hurt to the body, work out of that as well. Don't take a knee.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that was clear, because that's one of the things I feel I've been able to do is dissect the chaos of a fight and slowly manipulate it so we can actually understand the layers and get better at it. And that helped a lot with the actual drilling and the sparring, and the sparring, and then the fight itself. So understand that latter process.
Have you ever found any core drills or ab drills that allow you to absorb punches or kicks better? Is there anything that you've shown that have you ever figured out?
I don't know if
really
it helps,
does?
but we do it. I mean, we have our coach throws medicine balls against. We're doing motion movements, or doing bouncing on a tire, or doing almost like a burpee motion or something, getting back to your feet and slamming like a big medicine ball into your stomach. I mean, I just think the impact without hurting yourself is going to help ultimately, and then just having a stronger core in general. I think core is by far the most important in MMA and jiu-jitsu and grappling. Is your core strength, is how strong your core is like, because I can go and lift weights and this guy's going to be way stronger than me doing bench or doing deadlifts, whatever it may be, but we get on the mat and he's like, dude, how the fuck are you so strong? I think it's all core.
It certainly has a lot to do with kicking power.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's so much of it. It's not just the legs. It's the ability to whip the hips into it. All this. That's all your core.
And your cardio. It controls your breathing. I believe core is everything.
What kind of exercises are you doing for that?
This is endless. I mean, a lot of medicine ball stuff.
Are you doing different things with Mr. Calavita that
Yeah.
you're doing before?
Yes. Yeah, completely. Actually, this shit's crazy.
Yeah?
It's straight up crazy, man. The first time I showed up, I knew it was going to be hard. Like, everyone always told me, oh, he's like, you go hard. Man, I've never gone as hard as this guy pushes me ever in my life from all the years of me practicing or competing. But you can only do it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it all the time. And he knows when the next practice should be easier, or when we're going to have those days where I'm for sure going to throw up.
Right.
Or what days I'm pushing the sled up the hill. We do a lot of cycling now. I mean, I'm on the bike constantly, but it's not only for low base, it's certain power intervals.
Are you doing distance, like actual bike on the road? Or
Yeah, I do that too. So if I fight 25s, I'll be doing a lot of road work, running, swimming. So I'm pretty much to make 25s, I'll be a triathlete as well.
Really?
I'll be doing some Cameron Haynes shit. I won't be running that far, but I'll be trying to act like Cameron Haynes to get smaller. But yeah, so I think the bike work does a lot for our core as well too, because your core is not only your stomach. Your core is from your hamstrings up to your back throughout your stomach. It controls a lot. So even doing the bike work is a lot of core work as well too.
Yeah, people don't realize that sometimes when you have lower back pain, it's because your hamstrings are too tight.
Yep.
You tell them that, and like, what?
Yeah.
And then they learn how to stretch out their hamstrings. And like, yeah, my back feels better. Like,
Yeah.
that's what yoga's all about, man.
Hell yeah, we do yoga. I mean, everything. I mean, there's so much behind what we have to do.
And how long has this guy been doing this?
So Mark Munoz was his first project in MMA. He wrestled, so he was a wrestler. Wrestled, always been around wrestling. Always helped Mark with his wrestling camps. His kids wrestle. He's got that wrestling mentality, but then he's just a genius as well. And so his first project was Mark Munoz when he was making weight and looking shredded. The Tim Boach fight, things like that. That was when he first started helping out. So that's why it's called the Training Lab as well, spelled with rain in the middle. Is because he was attached to Mark Munoz's gym and helping him out.
And Mark Munoz's gym, for people who don't know, is called Rain.
Yes, Rain. Yeah. And so I mean, that's funny. It's come full circle. I mean, Mark Munoz is the one that talked me into fighting. He was my coach at Cal State Fullerton wrestling, and he was in the UFC at the time. He was my assistant coach. after I graduated college, like all bummed out. I didn't do like what I should have. And so I didn't feel like I was done competing. I started following Mark around and doing jiu-jitsu and all this shit. And I was actually enrolled in grad school at the same time to become a physician's assistant. He pretty much talked me into dropping out of school and giving fighting a chance because he thought I'd be good at it. And now it's come full circle, and now he's our coach again. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got some awesome MMA flow drills. Mark Munoz, It's been good.
He's got
to
wrestling
listen to him.
for MMA.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like a
Nice.
awesome wrestler and come in and teach MMA
Agreed.
wrestling. You know, you got to know how to punch. You got to know the jiu-jitsu aspects of it. MMA wrestling is its own sport.
Yeah, well, there's certainly rules that you have to follow that you don't have to follow in regular wrestling.
Yeah.
Things, that's the case with jiu-jitsu as well. It certainly helps to learn jiu-jitsu. One of the things I don't know if you guys are paying attention to, but Eddie Bravo came up with a thing called combat jiu-jitsu, which is sort of an intermediary step between regular jiu-jitsu and MMA. And it's basically jiu-jitsu with bitch slaps.
Pancrase.
Yeah.
Pow!
Yeah, but some of those bitch slaps, like you
stop
do with the
people.
palm.
Palm
Like,
strike.
yeah.
Well, Boss figured out how to
Yes,
do
sir.
it.
Yeah.
He figured out how to pull his hands way back, and he was basically punching you with his palm, where you could hit anybody anywhere. You could hit him in the forehead. You don't have to worry about your knuckles.
I feel like that's harder than my MMA glove.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, you could really put a beating on somebody with your
Boss
palms.
is an innovator for sure. He's always thinking. He taught me how to think, how to be open-minded and figure stuff out.
Yeah, so here it is. This is combat jiu-jitsu. That's a guy on the ground, I think. I hope.
But see, now, that was
it?
one of the things, too, like how Danaher was saying.
This is a fucked up one
that's
to pick
where,
up, Jamie.
That's where the whole
highlights
ankle
of the- See?
attacking the leg situation
He's getting
changes when it's
smashed.
an actual fight and you have punches, right?
Jiu-jitsu is different.
You
Yeah,
want
look
to
at
watch
this.
attacking those legs.
I mean, you open up things
Yep.
the same way you would open up things with punches. You know, there it is. Bam.
Is that one of my affiliate students from Montana with the blonde hair?
Wagner Rocha has stopped quite a few people. Well, he stopped at least one person with just the slaps, but he's used those slaps. You know, and Wagner has he's got a big advantage in being a high-level MMA fighter as well heading into this. But the idea behind it was created by Eddie because he wanted to make it just a little bit more realistic on the ground,
Nice.
just add this other element to it. Because there's times where guys are going for leg locks,
Yes.
and you know your face is wide open. You're
Yep.
committing both your arms to the person's leg, and that person's in a position
Exactly.
where they can just smash your
Thank you.
face. And if you're used to that in the jiu-jitsu gym where a guy can't punch you, and you just think you're safe, and you always practice in
Yes.
that way,
Thank you.
combat's jiu-jitsu is a real wake-up call when you're just getting fucking hammered in the head.
It's like our jiu-jitsu instructor at our academy, Sam Coots, he teaches jiu-jitsu for self-defense. And then he asks you, if you want to compete in jiu-jitsu, then he teaches you different jiu-jitsu. He wants to find out, why did you come here? Like, what's you want to get
Right.
better? You want self-defense? You want to compete? Because there's a different way you have to approach things for sure. Which is why TJ can be on the same mat with regular students in my gym because he's doing slightly of a different drill and combination with more contact than the average person, you know? So you'll get out what you put in.
And in your academy, do you have everything there? Do you have submission instruction, wrestling, or do you go different places for your jiu-jitsu? How do you do it?
The only thing I do not at my gym is my jiu-jitsu. I go to Gracie Baja in Irvine with Felipe De Monica.
Great spot.
Yeah, man. He's a straight-up ninja.
Man,
He's-
he knows jiu-jitsu for MMA, just like you're saying, Mark Munoz wrestling for MMA, and I feel like I have striking for MMA. Man, TJ has a really good camp around him. I would have liked to be in his position. Now with the understanding of martial arts, I'm not going to hijack the podcast, sorry.
No, you're good. No,
dude,
it's
I'm just
good.
so happy for him. Like, well, it's his time, right? I need him to shut the hell up.
It's your
but,
time
yeah.
too, man.
Yeah, this is.
Like,
I mean, like I told him the other day, we were texting about like, damn, you were meant for this shit. Send me a
Yeah.
sick ass video. It's like, dude, this is our journey, though. You know,
Yeah.
like this is. I'm not doing this shit alone. If I was doing it alone, it'd be a lot harder. I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but I wouldn't be to this level. I wouldn't be who I am. I told him this is our journey. You know, I mean, that's why this shit works
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't have a bigger ego. I'm not like. Whatever, you know, like, me and Duane really see eye to eye. And
I
he's
want him to
family
be the
now.
best. Yeah, I love
He's
this
family
guy.
now. So.
But it's so critical, the relationship that you guys have, because I think there's he can add so much in terms of what he understands, and your acceptance of him and your appreciation of him allows you guys to like fully integrate to this one project of TJ Dillashaw world champion, like making you the best you can be. If there was any sort of conflict or you got to be number one or you don't want to listen to him, I'm going to do what I want to do today. Like that shit happens all the time with coaches and fighters and then sometimes you don't hear about it until after the fight and you're like, what happened? I got to tell you, man, he wouldn't show up for training. He was this and that. that. He's got this new girlfriend. She's pregnant. Blah, 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 blah.
That's why I'm all in, because TJ's all in.
Yeah.
So I don't have a vast stable of fighters. I have a few guys that float through my place, right? And I work with them a little bit here and there, but TJ's all in, so I'm all in.
Now, one of the benefits of being in Colorado was the altitude. You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
No.
It depends where you fight.
What do you think?
Because you can train a lot harder at sea level. Your body gets a little more dense. Like the oxygen and your recovery at sea level is way better. I mean, when I first started going up to Colorado and training at altitude, I felt like my body wasn't recovering. I felt older, man.
Because of the lack of air up there.
Yeah, I think the lack of rebuilding myself. We do altitude training. We do altitude. It's called Alto Lab. Something I breathe into at certain times, certain time lengths, different intervals throughout training camp. Instead of living and breathing altitude, I'd rather get the recovery and the hard training from sea level and then use the altitude to get in that hypoxic state. So the reason why less oxygen in the air, you create more red blood cells. And the more red blood cells you have, the more oxygen you transport. And so they're thinking if you go down to sea level, you're going to have more oxygen to transport. But your body hasn't been able to train as hard and recover as it can at sea level, and then use the hypoxic state by breathing in this machine to get the red blood cell production.
Okay.
So you can get the benefits of
sense.
altitude without having to live there.
What I had heard is that the best move was to train at sea level but live at altitude.
I don't think I don't think your recovery is good enough.
What about those?
From what my coaches told me,
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's making sense.
Yeah.
What do you think about those tents where like people sleep in those tents?
I've tried one. I feel it's hard to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Why?
because you're pumping it up, so it gets hot in there for one.
Plus, you start thinking like that scene in Psycho with the fucking chicks in the shower, like, you're surrounded by shower curtains.
Just have nightmares and shit every day. But no, it's when you're not breathing as much oxygen, it's just you don't feel recovered and you don't get a restful night's sleep.
I see. I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah, you definitely feel the difference. And it totally makes sense that you would be able to train harder at sea level.
You can push your body to that super far extreme that you wouldn't be able to get there at altitude.
But if you live at altitude for a few years, doesn't your body totally normalize to that?
Yeah, but then I'll be fighting at sea level.
Right.
You know, I don't.
You don't know.
I don't know enough behind it. That's just what I was told.
I knew no matter where I'd fight. Sorry, Ninja.
Yeah, you're good.
I knew no matter where I fought that I would always be ready to go because I was born and raised in Colorado, so I didn't care where I was. And one of my goals was to get tired because I knew if I was tired, that motherfucker was dead tired. So let's go.
Guys like Calavita make my head hurt.
Dude,
Like
he's
thinking
awesome.
Thinking about all these different things that he's got, you go on and thinking about all his the planning that must be involved.
it's a
in your
full-time
training
job.
camps.
It's a straight up full-time job. Like even like the juicing I do every day. I mean, if you didn't do my meal prep, it'd be impossible. Unless obviously my wife was doing it all. It'd be impossible to get all that done. You know, they're doing. It's so much.
And how many athletes is he working with?
It's a pretty small group. I mean, and it's growing now because obviously the name is growing and more athletes that we're getting
He's still
along
doing
with.
it at his garage?
Yeah, it's called the garage. We do it at the gym as well too, but there's a small group of guys that still go to his garage and do it there. It's kind of like our varsity team, I guess you would say. You know, once you've proved yourself enough in the gym, you can get which has happened. Guys have come to our gym, they've worked out with us, we've got along with them, they become like, you know, family, and then we bring them into the garage. So I'd say he's got Cub, Juan, Aaron Pico, Syed, Spike. I don't know. I would say we're probably got like 8-9 guys that'll come to his garage and work out.
Well, that's a great group right there. Just having Aaron Pico with you, that's got to help. That
Future world champion without a doubt.
For sure.
He's a savage.
Not only like how good he is technically, but mentally too. Like, dude, like fools. I'm competitive. I go hard.
Yeah.
And he's to another extreme. Like,
Really?
dude, it's we do this like hand peddler for distance at the garage. We're on a decline, so we're downhill, and we're doing this hand peddler for distance and how far we can go. Who gets to a mile first wins. And I thought he won the world title when he beat me. Just stood up like pretty much what I did to Cody, like yelling in my face after the fight, you know, or after the hand peddler that he won.
Wow.
And he's very competitive. He's very good technically. He's hungry. He takes no shortcuts. He's 21. He was 21 years old and wasn't taking any shortcuts. I didn't learn all this shit till I was 30, and he's already doing it now. And he's world-class wrestler, great boxer. He's working with Freddie Roach a lot. He's good, man. He's really good.
Yeah, and I think there's an actual real gift in losing his first fight.
Yeah,
I think there's a gift in that.
You
so
learn
much hype behind him, and he got cracked and submitted quick.
He pretty much got finished as the worst you could possibly get.
Worst.
Yeah. And his very first
other
fight.
than a head kick.
Well,
Head kick's
I just mean
you don't really recover very
not
good
only
for a
did you
long
get knocked
time.
out, but you got submitted as well.
Yeah.
And you
that's
did
right.
And you did it in front of Madison Square Garden on the main card for your first fight ever. So he experienced like the lowest lows for his first fight. So now it's like there's no going lower. Like everything's skyrocketing now.
And everybody was so hyped up about him. There was so much hype about him, which is deserved. But it just shows you that everybody can get caught.
Yeah.
Anybody can get finished. And that experience, I think, is so valuable for him.
Yeah.
I really do. And that left hook that he landed in his last fight, holy shit.
Last 2 fights, huh?
Yeah,
One to the
2
head, one to the
fights.
body.
That's 2
Yeah,
fights.
nasty.
Murderous.
Nasty
He'll
puncher.
find that body shot every time I spar him.
Jesus.
Like, obviously, you got to get ready for it and you can feel it, but he finds it every time.
Oof.
Yeah, you got to be ready. And then, like, you start worrying about the body shot and you're opening yourself up, So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's good, man. He's really good.
That's one thing I feel Mr. Coker of Bellator does pretty well is gives people the proper fights that help build them up, right? And I don't think Pico's first fight was a bad matchup. He just got caught.
He got caught.
Oh, yeah,
he got caught by a tough guy. Yeah. I love Coker. I
Me
like,
too.
I like what he's doing. And, I'm supposed to be somehow or another in competition with Bellator. I say that's horseshit. I mean, I'm the one who got Jimmy Smith hired. I was trying to get him hired years ago. And I love the fact that Big John's over there now, and that that Goldie's over there too.
Yeah.
And Morrow, I love Morrow. And there's a
like
lot
the
of great
old school
fighters over
UFC.
there, man. I mean, I love the fact that Rory McDonald's over there, that he's a champ. I mean, he's one of if he's not the best welterweight in the world, it's him and Tyron. I really think that. I really think
I got to practice that name.
it's
Sorry,
okay.
Tyron.
Just don't have an E on the end of
Yes,
it.
sir. I'm on it.
But if it's not, I mean, he's most certainly one of the best. Musasi, one of the best
Yes.
185ers in the world, if not the best. I mean, they have like legit claim to world-class fighters now in at least 2 weight classes.
They got the banners, the fighter walkout. It's like old school UFC.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I like, that the fighters are having a good time over there. They're getting paid well.
I don't hear any complaints.
Yeah, I want it to grow, man. I really want it to be
Me as well.
I want it to be like right up there with the UFC. I would love it if it was a full rival like Pride was.
Yes. Man, I miss Pride. I left Pride.
And then figure out a way to do that crossover fight. So you can stay in your
Yeah.
league, you can stay in
Right,
Bellator,
right.
build Bellator up as far as UFC is, and then have like this, like, oh yeah, we're fucking better.
Well,
kind of
look,
thing.
man, those are big fights like Canelo and Triple G.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, if they had a Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor MMA style, if there was like literally a guy as big
There were
as
talks
one,
about that, right?
Well, there were talks about that for Floyd and Conor, but I don't think it was real.
Okay.
What I mean is a guy who gets as big as Mayweather has gotten in the UFC, and a guy who gets as big as he got in MMA with Bellator, and then they have some giant ass fucking super fight. There's enough for everybody.
Yep.
I just think for the athletes, it's better if there's choices, and it's good for you. It's not just choices; it's more competitive, and when it's more competitive, they try harder to do a good job for the athletes, make it attractive to the athletes. Like if you're a football player, you can go to a bunch of different places to play, right? But if you're a fighter, you got like 2 spots. You got Bellator and you got the UFC. It's like there's 2 teams out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's unfortunate. I think it'd be way better for fighters. I don't think that boxing is a clean system, and I think boxing definitely has its flaws in terms of like promotion and how fighters are
Like
treated.
why this fight's happening
Padded
again with Triple
records.
G and Canelo when it should already been over. Like Triple G won that fight.
Yeah, but
you
that
know?
could happen in the UFC.
Yeah, it does.
Bad judging happens all the time. There's some fucking terrible judges
sir.
out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've experienced that.
fuck, it's crazy,
sure.
man. It's crazy that no one's doing anything to fix it. There's people that have passed bad calls that should just be removed.
Yeah.
So you don't understand professional high-level fighting.
There needs to be like a grading system.
Thank
Like
you.
if you see these judges and they've made like, look, this person's made like 4 bad choices,
Right.
4 bad decisions.
Right. Well,
You're out.
I think they should go through a training course and be tested on it, just like I test my students for their ranking in the system, right? They should be able to go through this information and get better and pass the test or not judge the fight. Or let a fight go through and let some quality judges judge it and then test those results versus their results, right?
Right.
How do they judge it and compare those notes to see? Because we're dealing with people's careers and their livelihood, and a lot's on the line with these people aren't making the correct decisions from their lack of education that they could definitely get better at. So
It's
hopefully
so-
they start sorry.
Oh, no, please go.
When they start pulling in some old fighters, and maybe ex-fighters, retired fighters, as far as being the judges, but then maybe there's some hold back on that from, what would you think? Biased.
Being
Yeah.
biased.
That's possible, but I think you're better off with those fighters and their bias than someone who really doesn't understand the
Yes, sir.
sport.
Because they'll be afraid of being called out too. If you continue to like see their decisions they're making, like they'll be
Exactly.
afraid to get called out for it.
I
And
like
you know,
that.
just don't have
being
them
honest.
judge someone who they have a close relationship
Yes,
with,
sir.
right? If like Frankie Edgar is fighting, you don't have Ricardo Almeida as a judge.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. So,
Although-
yeah, because he's a part of the commission.
Yes.
That's right. Yep.
You know, even though I think Ricardo is awesome.
Yeah,
He'd
he
do
is.
great.
The Henzo
But
team.
You need people that understand martial arts, and
Yes,
there's
sir.
a lot of the people that are judges that just have no background, which to me is crazy.
Agreed.
It just doesn't
Agreed.
make any sense. When it's not like there's a shortage of martial arts practitioners out there. There's millions of
Yes,
us.
sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
out
in.
there.
Yep.
You could find us, and you could get us to be judges.
I'll judge some fights.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think also, and we've said this before, I'll say it again, it should be more than 3 judges. There's
Yeah.
no reason to limit it to 3. All you need is 2 dummies, and they ruin a fighter's career.
Yep.
You could get bad luck and have 2 dummies out of 3. That's not hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
2 people really don't understand the fight. You need at least 5, and I think we'd be fine with 10. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with having 10 judges. That way, if you really got a 5-5, that's a real draw. And I think real draws are real too. Like there's fights where like you go, Jesus, I don't know who won that fight. I'd have to go over that fight with a fine-tooth comb. And the difference, the distance between winning and losing is so close. I think you're better off arguing for a draw in some fights. I don't think there's any shame in that.
Yeah. I agree.
know?
100%. I mean, if it actually was that close, like, why not it be, you know?
Yeah, because there's some fights where the guy gets a decision or the girl gets a decision. And you're like, how? By who? But they both won. I mean, it's a fucking incredible fight. One person goes home a loser, the other person goes home a winner, and it's almost like flipping a coin.
Overtime.
When I used to lose fights,
Yeah.
when I
It's
used
a
to lose,
draw, overtime.
Glory does that still.
I would just say I came in second place. I never actually lost. Try to ease it a little bit.
Glory does still the one more round.
That's
Love
right,
that.
yeah.
That'd be
They still
awesome.
do that.
I feel like that'd be
Yep.
cool
Yeah.
as shit.
It's the
That
new
would be
K1.
fucking wild. If you guys
Like, you're
are
getting
both
up there ready to
standing
get announced, like, oh, I fucking won this one, you know? Like, oh, fuck, we got another
One
round.
more.
All right, let's do this.
Sweet.
You know,
We
like,
have a
shit.
split decision. You're standing like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We have a majority draw. And you're like, oh, no.
One more
Please,
go.
The audience would go nuts, man.
Hell yeah.
If you had
That'd
that,
be cool.
only for championships.
Yeah.
Only for championships. One more round.
Yeah. That'd be cool, man.
People would start pounding on the ground.
Yeah,
and shit.
nice, yeah.
And it should be like a 10-minute round. It should be a 10-minute round, too.
Pride style.
Yeah.
Pride style 10-minute round was awesome for grapplers.
And the gloves, too.
Yeah. Pride
like
gloves
the
are
eye
excellent,
pokes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you think that's a big factor, right? The curve of the gloves?
Yeah, and my boxing coach, Trevor Whitman, is working on some kind of gloves that are eliminating the eye poke situation. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's thinking, but if there's anybody to do that job, it's him.
I love that dude.
He is why I'm as technical as I am, is from Trevor Whitman. He's
You know,
very detailed.
One of the things that a lot of people were like almost like wondering or down on him or looking for something to criticize was when Justin Gaethje knocked out James Vick, cracks him,
Yep.
drops him, smashes him, stops him. Everyone is going crazy, and look at Trevor. Trevor just sitting there like this.
No, he knows, yeah.
I mean,
knows.
he didn't jump up and scream.
Yeah.
He just had his arms crossed, and he's you see if you can find that. See if you
He
can
just
find the video. 'Cause
expected it.
It's kind of not only did he expect it, he was like quietly satisfied. I was like, look at that.
He's like a Tyron after his title. He's just like,
Sort of.
just what I do. Just chill.
Woodley cried when he got his black belt.
That
See
was cool.
Yeah.
That
Cool.
was crazy.
Then Thomas, too.
Yeah.
A fellow fighter like that, that's awesome.
was cool.
I mean,
that's
he was
direct
like,
lineage.
wow.
That's
like,
cool.
that felt more to him than that's so crazy
Yeah.
that would feel more to him than defending his title.
He's been world champ. He knows he's world
Yeah.
champ. He's confident, you know?
Without a doubt, one of the best welterweights of all time.
For
Without
sure.
a doubt. I feel like there's 3 guys in the running. It's Matt Hughes, George St. Pierre, and him.
He's
So-
just
Yeah.
so athletic, man.
So good.
It's crazy how athletic he is.
And with Dean in his corner, and with Duke Rufus, and he's just coming into his own, man. You know, I mean, and people criticized him for the Damian Maia fight and the Wonderboy Thompson fight, but because those fights were
smart.
boring, that's the way you have to fight those guys. Period. If you want to fight Wonderboy, you think you're going to go crazy and charge at him, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good
luck.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to eat some knuckles.
Yeah.
So going back to the training method, and that's one thing. I wonder how much time Duke is spending with him, and Dean is spending with him. Din is spending with him, and then taking that skill and testing it against all the other ATT guys. So I'm just wondering how much class work he's doing versus one-on-one work, and then how much live work he's getting with the crew.
That's
that
a good
definitely needs to
question. I
happen.
don't think they're doing too much work at ATT because ATT is where Colby is right now too.
So where's he? You know where he's training at? 'Cause I haven't
Well, he
seen
did
much.
a lot of it at Duke Rufus.
Okay,
He
good.
spent a lot of time with Duke, but I don't know exactly where he trained his whole camp. You know,
I have questions.
Pettis said he was at Duke's.
he was at Duke's. Yeah.
Good.
Well, he looks fucking phenomenal. Duke's figured out a way to get him to really conserve his energy and manage it properly too, because we all know that when someone's that big and that much
fast
muscle,
twitch.
it's so hard to maintain endurance. But he hurt Wonderboy in the 4th round of their fight, you know, and hurt him bad. Like he carries that knockout power deep into the fight. So he's figured it out. He's figured out a way to manage his energy correctly. And if you see the countdown shows, too, he's doing a bunch of crazy strength and conditioning shit, too, which I kind of think everybody has to do now,
Yes,
right?
that's
Dude,
another piece.
it's a real. We're going to ESPN. It's a real fucking sport, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take shortcuts, man. This is a profession. Like I told you, my training schedule is a full-time job. It's hard for me to get anything else done when I'm in training camp. You know?
Now, when you're not in training camp, like now, you're out of camp, how many days a week are you working out?
Lately, I've only been doing like my strength conditioning with Sam. So when I'm back in town a couple times a week, I'm gonna go back out to Colorado and I'll spending every day at Duane's doing kickboxing. I'll probably start going to Gracie Bauhaus, and this is all fun. Like I'm doing the normal. I'll go to do normal class. Right now at Sam's, it's not like I'm peaking for a fight, so it's just maintaining my body and keeping certain things strong to prevent injury. And then I'll go to Gracie Baja and I'll probably roll some gi just to do it, you know, just to kind of stay active.
When you roll gi, do you grab the gi or do you just try to do no gi techniques?
I need to get better at learning how to grab the gi. I just still do no gi techniques because that's what I've always do, you know.
I would never really use a gi. I hardly ever use a gi.
It's not my favorite.
But I wear it.
Yeah.
But I don't use it.
Yeah.
I just do no gi with the gi on, and they can grab me.
Yeah.
But I just do no gi stuff.
Yeah. That's why you got to go in there for fun. You can't go in there like expecting to be great because there's so much shit. If you don't know it, they're grabbing your belt, pulling you in certain directions.
Oh, this crazy shit that they do. They pull your thing out, your lapels out.
Yeah. Try to choke you with it.
Yeah. They'll pull the back of your gi out and wrap it around your neck. Like, all right, settle down. But I mean, for the gi competition, as long as that's all legal, that's great. But I mean, for someone learning martial arts, whether it's for self-defense or for me, what I found about doing gi is it really improved my no gi submission defense. Because it was so easy to control me with the gi. Because if someone's grabbing your collar and grabbing your sleeve and they bang, they hold you down, you have to get out of things technically. Like if you get locked up in an arm bar, you can't just explode out of things. You have to figure out a way to like slowly, incrementally release yourself the right way and defend everything the right way. Because if you get too deep with all that friction with the, you know, that heavy canvas gi, they can lock you up, you know? You have to be technical in your defense.
I still don't really
It makes you
too much
more
for the gi.
meticulous about your submissions.
Yes.
Like it does make you like hold, absolutely.
Especially defensive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to compete in jiu-jitsu, then wear a gi. But if it's for self-defense, then I would actually train with no gi. Right?
I say that, but if you're in New York and you're wearing a leather coat in the winter, dude, imagine what Ronda Rousey could do to someone who had a winter coat on.
Yeah,
They're
you're
flying.
getting tossed.
Talk shit to her with a jean jacket on, bitch, you're flying on your head.
Hell yeah, you are.
Let's do rolling with the typical clothes, though, right? Because even that's going to be different than an actual gi, but
even
close enough.
But it's enough to grab.
Yes,
I mean, you know, like if you're you could choke somebody out with a regular collared shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you grab a hold of like a regular dress shirt and you get a hand in the lapel. That's a dead man.
Oh yeah.
You know, he doesn't even know it. Just get a hold of that collar and pull that fucker in.
I'm done.
That'd be
exactly.
great. I mean, kind of like what you're saying, like changing who I am because of where I'm at in my life and my family now. Like, I wish I could train more outside of fight camp. I wish I had more time to get in the gym and train, but I'm like going everywhere, getting pulled in every direction, creating businesses to try to set up my future.
I know you got your seasoning business. I've used your seasoning.
Yeah, Flavor.
Excellent.
Yeah, Flavor Republic. Yeah.
Did you come up with this on your own?
So yes, I started it because of my new diet with Sam Calavita. You know, I had to eat super clean. I wanted low sugar, and I wanted something that was low sodium or no sodium, so that when I'm cutting weight, I can still use it. But we make our own sea salt, organic sea salt as well, so that we can add it to when we want to. You know, so that you need sodium, you need good sodium.
Yeah.
But when I'm wanting to flush the water, I don't use it. So.
Yeah, you sent me over a bunch of stuff. It's great, man.
Oh, thank you.
I used a lot of it. Yeah,
Thank
seasoned
you.
meat with it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I just used it last night. I mean, it's not like I'm actually into the company and like it, you know.
That's cool.
Especially for wild game and things like that. It's cool, man. It's really, really fun.
Do you have a pellet grill? Do you cook with one
I
of
do.
those?
I have a Traeger.
Those things are the shit.
Yeah, they sent me one of those badass ones. It's,
Yeah, they sent me one too. A Timberline.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude, you got the meat thermometer, everything with it.
I
It's
love
sweet.
that thing.
Yeah,
I cook on that
the
thing almost
taste
every
is
night.
the best too.
Well, it's all wood. It's natural wood. For people who don't know what a pellet grill is, and there's a bunch of companies that make real good ones. We have out back. We have a Yoder that's really good. I had a Green Mountain Grill. That's a really good company.
Yep.
The Green Mountain grills are very affordable too, and they come also with a built-in thermometer, just like the Traeger has.
Yeah.
What you do is you pour wood pellets, and these pellets are made like if someone makes a table like this, the sawdust from an actual table is they just compress it, and the natural sugars in the sawdust force it to form into these little pellets, these like little tubular pellets, and you could snap them with your fingers, you know. But they go through this worm drive onto a heating element, and it's just fire and wood. That's all it is. You're cooking your food with fire and wood. I mean, it's all complicated and electronic and shit, and it's all sophisticated and engineered. But at the end of the day, the result is fire and wood, and the food tastes like fire and wood.
Yeah,
It's fucking great.
that's why they have different pellets for different tastes, and you
Yeah.
can taste the difference. Absolutely.
I love pellet grills,
Yeah,
man.
it's
I'm
cool,
just
man.
such a big fan. It's such an
Yeah.
easy way to cook too, and that Timberline just maintains its temperature perfectly.
You could start it with your phone.
Yes.
You can
Oh, wow.
connect
Yes.
it. You can connect it to your phone. So if you want to heat it up before you get home, you can start heating it up. you know?
Traeger
So much
has an app.
technology.
They have an app. Like I was going to cook lobster tails. I'm like, how do I cook lobster tails on the Traeger? Go to the fucking app.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It tells you what to have, what ingredients, how to do it, all of it on your phone. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah. I'll have to get you one for the house.
I'll take it.
Heck yeah.
I have room. Thank
Heck
you,
yeah.
sir.
So you didn't get an elk tag this year.
Oh man. Well, I have I'm going with Chad Mendez for rifle, but
Where are you guys going?
Colorado.
Oh, all right.
I don't know exactly the area we're going. It's something set up through Fins and Feathers, his company. He has a guide service
Yeah,
called
no,
Fins and
that's
Feathers.
awesome.
Dude, he's living the life, man.
He is. He loves
Like he
it.
even told after his last fight, he's like, I'm not fighting until next year. You know, it's hunting season, my business. Like,
Hell yeah.
he loves it,
Good.
man. He's awesome. He's a
Good
good
for him.
dude.
It was
Yeah.
nice to see him come back with a beautiful knockout.
Yeah.
Really good.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's still one of my very close friends, and so we're doing a hunt here in end of October for rifle. But my love's archery, so yeah, I didn't get an archery tag this year for elk.
Can you hunt with your bow during rifle season?
I think you can, yeah.
Yeah. The thing about rifle season is though you're dealing with they're not
They're
running
not in
anymore.
rut.
Yeah.
Like right now, we had a video of being up in Colorado, like just 20 yards from two big elk fighting. They didn't even know like I was standing up, or Leister was standing up, didn't even know they were there. You know, just 20 yards away. I mean, that's why.
Wow.
That's why you get to do archery during rut season. You know.
Yeah, dude, I live for it. I love it so much. It's to me, it's like it makes me so happy that I have my meat for a year.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
shoot an elk, basically I have meat for a year. And for all my friends. Now I've gotten all my friends like Brian Callen and all these guys
Yep.
addicted to elk, Tom Papa. I give them pounds of it, man.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
just constantly giving them elk sausage and elk steaks, and it's like once you taste that natural wild meat, you go, "Oh man."
And
like,
just learning how much healthier it is for you too. You know.
do you feel different when you eat it?
That's all I've ever eaten. I grew up that way. So I grew up hunting because of my dad. My dad's been an archery hunter.
Your dad's a wild man. I met your dad.
Yeah,
You
he's.
could tell right away.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's
how
where
you doing, man?
That's where it all comes from.
Nice
my
to
dad's,
meet you, Mr. Dillashaw.
Yeah, I remember that guy he's always been the baddest dude I've ever known. He's always just, he's game. He's taking me on crazy hunts where we'll hike our ass off, go hike 20 miles and work really hard, hunt public land. Like, it's never been the easy thing. It's always been as hard as we can make it.
Nice.
It's made me really, like, fall in love with hunting even more.
Those backcountry hunts, man, people are starting to catch on to what an adventure that is.
Yeah.
And, you know, these guys like my friend Aaron Schneider, who runs Cafaro's, one of the best backpack companies in the world. They make hunting backpacks and wilderness backpacks. And it's like you used to be able to go 8 miles down the trailhead and there would be nobody. He goes, now you go there, there's 3 tents.
Yeah.
You know, it's because other guys are learning how to do this too, and they're
Yep.
realizing this, especially high country mule deer, which is an insanely difficult animal to hunt because they're so switched on. Because every day they're running from mountain lions.
Oh,
Every day is like, is that a mountain lion? Is that a mountain lion? What was that branch?
They're
now?
so
Is that a
fucking
mountain lion?
smart.
It's
Yeah.
sketched out.
They're so sketched out. When you get to 5-year-old deer, you know, which is what everybody wants to shoot. What they want to shoot is a 4, 5, and older deer. You're getting this giant deer. They're probably 300 pounds. they have enormous antlers. I mean, mule deer have these crazy racks.
All knotted up crazy.
All knotted up crazy. And they've been hunted since day one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every day
okay.
of their life.
Makes
They've
sense,
been 5 years. It's like a fighter who's been fighting at a championship level for 5 years. Like, you ain't getting away with no sloppy bullshit with him.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
You can't snap on branches and they don't notice you're there.
Dude, they fucking turn nocturnal as well.
Yeah.
Like I went out 5 days before opening day and saw 2 3-pointers and a big 4-pointer right in the area I'm going to go hunt. And then 10 days later I go out because I missed opening day. But 10 days
late.
I know. 10 days ago out after they're gone.
Yeah, they
Just
go
like-
nocturnal, they hide, and they just realize that people are after them.
Yeah.
They've been doing it so long that hunting season is literally like factored into their internal clock.
Like their DNA. Like
They just
know.
realize it. They go, oh, well, there's the people. I know what this is.
Yeah.
They go, I know what this is. Time to get the fuck out of here.
I'll eat at 2:30 instead of the regular. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just, especially during full moons and things like that. It's really interesting, man. It's once you experience these. I mean, even if you're not into hunting, but if you, I always advise people, just go hiking deep into the backcountry. Just take a 6-7 mile hike deep into the backcountry, and just it'll put it in perspective for you.
Like those 2.5 days I spent in Colorado, I hiked probably 20 miles by myself with no one. And I didn't get anything. I didn't even see an animal. I found one dropped horn of an elk. I didn't see shit, and I still loved it. I still came out. I was like, I'm glad I did it,
Yeah.
Hiked my ass off, was out there. My cell phone didn't work. It's just.
When you go out there, do you bring a spotting scope?
Yeah.
So you bring a
I
spotting
pack
scope,
in,
spotting scope, binos, the whole deal.
Rangefinder. Yeah.
And are you looking at Google Earth in advance or
I'm looking at, what's that app I use?
Onyx Hunt?
Yes. I use Onyx Hunt. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you kind of like downloads the area where you're at. So then when you're.
Shows you where's public, where's
and you
private.
can even download the app to when you don't have service, you can still use
Yes.
it. It knows where you're at.
Right.
And like if you're on private property, if you're on public land, it like maps everything out for you that way. So.
Yeah, that's an amazing app. But just being able to see the territory and know where the basins are and the ridges are.
Water holes.
Yeah, and get a sense like, okay, what time of year is it? I mean, it's not just going out to get food. There's really like a science to mule deer hunting.
And what the weather's been like. If it's been hot, they're going to be high country. They're going to be really high if it's been hot.
Yeah.
You want it to be like overcast and cool, so they'll come out more during the day because they'll bed down. When it's hot, they bed down all day long, and that's why they come nocturnal as well. Is that it's cool enough for them to expend energy to go get food.
Yeah.
To where if you go in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock, you have to spot them with your binos laying down and hopefully sneak up on them and not let them see you, or wait for them to get up and start feeding and then sneak up on them.
Now, when you go out there, do you have the creeks mapped out, or are you hauling in water? How you getting water?
I'll always take those pills with me to be able to
Purify water?
Purify the water.
Iodine tablets?
Yes, iodine
They
tablets.
say you're not supposed to drink too much of that, though.
I'm sure you're not, but I don't hunt
Right.
24/7.
Right.
I mean, worst case scenario, at least I'm not going to go out there and get Giardia and get lost. Like I'm at least going to be able to purify some water. And I have a lighter. Well, I have a canteen, so it would melt. But anyways,
to heat it up?
yeah, to be able to heat it up. But yeah, I know where the water holes are. I always know that. And I bring enough water for me to drink, and then I pack it into camp too. Luckily, this spot in Colorado wasn't very far from where I had to park my truck, so I was able to drive in a bunch of water.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With my dad, though, we hiked back in the Rubies like 20 miles and then hunt back there, hopefully not finding anybody. And like you said, you still find people.
yeah.
But yeah, we have to bring the iodine pills, or we have a pump, and then
Pumps are great. Yeah.
obviously we packed in pots and we boil it and drink. Usually we boil it back at camp. But if you're out and about and you only have your canteen on it, you'll fill it up, throw an iodine pill in it, and shake it around. And 10 minutes later, you got clean water.
Yeah, you don't want any of that beaver fever.
No, hell no.
That
Especially
JRE
being
is
20
supposed to be rough.
20 miles out. Think how bad that would suck.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful country though, man. I mean, to be able to go out there into that backcountry of Colorado where there's no people,
Yeah.
you just realize it doesn't even look real. It looks like, you find like a mountain lake up there. You're like, this isn't even real. This can't be real. This looks like a movie.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, pictures you take don't look like you just come off the internet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
Super
out near
awesome.
you, man. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you pick.
I don't ever hunt though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to.
Do you
I don't
eat
need
it?
to.
Do you
I'm
eat
sure. I
game?
I have had some mistakes at his house for the last camp actually. So yeah, we got this from the Kingston Coffee guy, right, Mark?
Also, yeah,
Okay.
we had both.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So,
kind
yeah,
of diet
so-
do you follow?
I have actually, when I'm out in California with him, Sam's family makes me the same meals. Well, not the same. I don't know if they're exactly
Pretty much the
meals,
same.
But I eat the same meals as him, and I usually eat pretty clean too. When I did my hair analysis with Sam, all my levels and stuff came back pretty good. I was pretty pretty baseline or healthy for the most part.
Are you training or just training people? Do you train yourself?
Yeah, I still train. I stay sharp. I got to lead by example, and I love it. So that's what I've done since I was 8. Starting with the Kyokushin karate and just been on it since then. So
Man, when he comes out to the training lab and throws the gear on and holds mitts, for me, Cub, Juan, like, he just did like 3 hours of holding mitts, like he's getting a workout doing that shit. Just the impact and moving.
Oh, yeah,
and,
of course. Yeah.
I don't just stand there either. I got to give them the feel and the reactions and throw back. And I get to play UFC a little bit without getting beat up. So it's fun to still, again, live vicariously through these guys. But I still definitely do train and, again, lead by example and stay sharp.
Have you ever thought about one day, you're in a weird situation where you could potentially go to 45 and you could potentially go to 25. You could be champ.
My coach already, like, when I first started working out with Sam and I was fighting Cody the first time, he's like, I'm going to make you a 3-division champ. It's like, that's our goal. I want you to be the first one ever to do it. Like, he's always like reaching for everything. And the way I know I could do it too is because I can pack the weight on with him too. I've gotten up to 158 pretty solid before I went down to 35s the first time.
Max Holloway, who's the UFC 145-pound champion, is a fucking big guy.
I don't think
so
he's
big.
Eventually, he's probably going to be a 55er.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. When they had to medically stop him from cutting weight to make 55, when he's a 45-pound champion, he started in at around 85 pounds.
Oh, Jesus.
How crazy is that? He's
Dude, Ortega's big too, man.
Big.
Dude, he's a big dude as well.
Yeah, these 45-pounders are...
Yeah.
Look, I wish there was a way to stop all this nonsense.
Yeah.
I wish everybody did it the way you're doing it, where you're just a little bit overweight.
Yeah.
Have you ever been heavier before where you had a cut? Never. So it's always been your weight. Yeah.
Yeah, and a good thing too is that I always train at the weight I'm going to be in the night of my fight. So if I weigh in at 135s, I'm going to be 150 when I walk in the cage. So I train at 150. When I'm going to fight 25s, I'll probably walk in the cage weighing like 140 or low 40s. I'm going to train at low 40s, and that's why my camps are longer. I get in shape before I start my camp because I want to know exactly what that feeling is of what the night's going to be of being in the cage. I want to be in shape. I want my weight to be where it's supposed to be. And so it's like the same exact feeling for my whole camp.
It's got to be satisfying for you to have all these changes, take all these chances, go through all this emotional shit with leaving Alpha Male, but the results prove themselves that you were making the right choices for your career.
Very satisfying. I'm building my own everything, It's all kind of falling in place, and it's because I've surrounded myself with the right people. I followed Duane because I believed in him. I came back to Southern California because I believe in Sam, and there's guys like Steve Martin, like I was talking about before, that made that possible, and there's just like these, for whatever reason, this group of guys that I've just gotten around that's just very synergistic and it works, and so that's why I've been really focused on, because I've been to a lot of gyms that are money-driven or ego-driven, and to make sure that's not the case. So you might be an awesome fighter, but if you don't have the right mentality, you're not part of the training lab. You might be the best fighter in the world, but if you're a cancer, we're not going to let you work out there. And kind of really treating it like we're professional athletes. I am treating it like we're professional athletes instead of before I was just a fighter.
Well, have you seen that really across the board? There's much more of an attitude of a professional athlete versus just some badass guy who wants to fight and kick ass, and you're seeing people approach it much more scientifically now.
Yeah.
How much has that changed since you were on The Ultimate Fighter?
A lot. When I first, like I said, when I first got an Ultimate Fighter, I was alpha male, and we sparred 4 or 5 days a week. And
was that 2012?
11.
11.
Yeah, 2011, and then it aired, I think, 2012.
So you think about that. That's not that long ago. We're talking about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So in 7 years, the sport's radically changed.
Big time.
Wow.
Big time. I mean, it's also because of how big and how mainstream the UFC is getting. We're going to be on ESPN. We're on Fox. We went from Spike. Like, the more and more mainstream it gets, the more like legit it makes it, and the more legit it is, the more science behind it. The more that, like, why wouldn't guys that are smart as Sam Calvita go for football? Because there's money in it. There's like exposure behind it. Compared to when it was fighting, it was so raw and just like whatever. But now I feel like since it's so legitimized, those smart trainers and now the guys that have been fighting forever are now coaches. It just makes it more legit, and you have more science and ways to train behind it.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting.
But it's still growing, and I feel like we're on the cutting edge of everything.
Yeah,
we
that's true.
don't miss everything. We don't miss anything. Like we're on the. This is by far, out of any place I've ever trained, the most scientific and smart way to train.
That's so exciting, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
TJ's got a bump in the martial art evolutionary chain as far as how many people were switching stances and having that fluid flow before TJ stepped in the cage. Not that many.
Not that many
He's
at all.
definitely leading the pack.
I mean,
When we
Dom switched his legs back and forth, but
No attacks.
He didn't fight the same way righty as he did lefty the way you do.
Kind
has
of
to
like
happen.
you've seen it now in boxing too. Like
Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford,
Yeah.
he'll come out orthodox because he's right-handed, but he's like, I'm going to do better against this guy southpaw, and then stay southpaw the rest of the fight because he sees that advantage and being able to do that. I mean, boxers used to say, like, never switch your stance. Your defense won't be as good. But now
Make it that good.
Marvin
Exactly.
Hagler used to switch all the time. You know, he was one of the greatest of all time.
And then there's orthodox, there's southpaw, but then there's a whole world of things that you can do offensive and defensively during the change of the stance as well. That people, so we'll keep those secrets under the cover. Peeking over the edge here.
Yeah, it's one thing to switch your stance to fight better that stance, but then what about the strikes while switching your stance?
Yes.
You know, or in those crazy motions where I'm coming this way, but you're over there. I can fight. It's almost like fighting two people at once. You know,
Yeah.
be able to create those angles and take advantage of them, and they have to do this slow turn to stay in their stance, kind of thing. You know,
Yeah, no, there's fantastic advantages
it's a
to
fucking
it.
matrix. I'm telling
Yeah.
Shit, it's fun.
Yeah.
Gonna start mapping out the Dillashaw MMA series and get a bunch of MMA flow drills going.
you.
And
Hell yeah.
I'm
It's
really
gonna be fun.
excited about the switch to ESPN too.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about getting the UFC on ESPN.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's a big deal, man.
ESPN is such a huge venue for sports, and there's so many like just
It is
hardcore sports fans.
You know,
yeah.
when you think of sports, it's ESPN.
Sure, and you think of like sports bars that have fights on. I mean, if they're going to have ESPN on.
Yep.
I mean, I mean, so many people they just turn their TV on, they put on ESPN, and that's like all day long. Real sports fans, they're going to get a chance to see guys like you, you know, real high level fighters, and ESPN's also been putting on real world championship boxing events, which is very exciting. So if they're going to do that, and then they're going to start putting on real high level championship UFC fights as well, people are going to get a chance to compare and contrast and see, like, wow, I think that's going to open up a whole new world. I think Fox was great.
Yeah.
I mean, and all the
Yes.
but there's like, what is it, like 80 Fox Sports channels, and no one knows which one the fuck it's on. And,
Yeah, there are a lot of Fox channels, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I remember years ago, one of my Japan K1 trips, we went to a restaurant and they were showing some fights on TV, and we lost our shit. We're like, holy shit, they're showing fights on TV. Japan's
on
so cool.
TV.
Now it's out here all the time. So, thank you, Dana White, for Tito Brothers, the UFC, for making it mainstream. They and you as well, Mr. Rogan, for bringing martial arts to being so popular it is now. It's like you guys have helped the evolution of martial arts come to life, and it's fun.
It is fun, and it's, people are getting a chance to see where it's at right now, which I don't think, if someone hadn't seen a fight like your fight with Cody, or your first fight with Renan Barão was a great example. That your second fight was really like a blowout. I felt like in the second fight, he knew you were going to fuck him up before the fight even started.
Got to evolve.
Yeah, he didn't evolve. But if you see these high level, world class fights, I think if people just got to look at what's going on right now at the top levels, they'd get hooked. Real quick.
Well, I mean, you do a great job of teaching people, or the commentators as well as people involved in journalists of MMA need to teach the average fan what to look for.
Yes.
And I feel like you've done a great job. You've helped our sport grow because of that, of not only hyping the fights up, but making people knowledgeable of MMA.
Well,
we need to teach the judges.
Yeah.
They need to come to our seminar.
Yeah.
I haven't done the best job. They're out there still.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand what commissions are waiting for. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't get what's the holdup. Just these people are incompetent. Fire them. Get new people in. It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's hard to do. I think a motivated person could fix the entire system inside of a year.
I don't feel like they're worried about their job. If they make a bad decision, like if I ruin your career, if I steal millions of dollars out of your pocket,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Who
wonder
gives
if
a
they
fuck?
understand that aspect, like they do with people's career.
I don't
and
think
their
they care.
livelihood.
They're just doing their job, and they think they're insulated from it.
See.
I
I
mean,
don't have a job.
they have to be accountable because they
Yes,
have
sir.
a name. Their name gets, Adelaide Bird scored the fight, blah, 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 blah. And, you hear that. So they're accountable somewhat, and then people hear certain names, and they're like, oh, not this fucking guy. Because that guy's given some shitty-ass decisions in the past. But it's not enough. And if you just left it off to... If you ran it through a computer and looked at all the bad decisions and all the judges that called these bad decisions and
Rate them like an Uber driver.
yeah, you just get rid of them.
Yep.
Just anyone who just gets a D or below, just get rid of them.
Yep.
You really know anyone who gets
Accountability.
below an A. I mean, people are going to make some questionable subjective decisions. Some people like a submission game. Some people like a striking game. Some people think a guy takes you down, no matter what, he's on top, you win.
Yes.
You know?
Well, I feel like they've said it's gonna not matter as much now, but if you do a takedown, you have no damage. Like, it's like
Right.
the takedown didn't even count.
Yeah.
Which I believe in, because I mean,
Yeah.
it's really who's winning the fight, not like the position we're in right then. Even me
Right.
being a wrestler, like, yeah, I could take people down and just win from being on top, but that's not how an MMA should be scored. You know?
No, I agree. And I think that if a guy does some damage standing up and then you take him down and hold him down for a full minute, but nothing happens, he did more damage
Yeah.
standing up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of judges that think that if you take someone down, you're on top, you win. And they can't think that way. It's just, it's not wise. Especially when guys are battling off submissions off their back and or getting busted up with elbows from their back. I mean, did you see Nico Price's fight where he won from his back?
Oh, yeah, with the chopped up the foot and hammer fisted him. That was
hammer
sweet.
fisted him
That was
from
nice.
the bottom.
Okay.
Knocked him out. It was one of the
That was cool.
craziest. Who did he fight?
I don't remember who that was. Damn, I get excited soon.
Yeah, he fought off his back, won by hammer fist.
Okay.
It's like
That
we're
was
realizing you're not really safe, and there's things that people can figure out what to do in weird different places.
Find a way to be successful.
Yeah. I just, as much enthusiasm as you have about the sport and of you and myself and a lot of other fans, I want the judges to have that kind of enthusiasm
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I want them to go into these fights knowing what they're looking at. Here it is right here. Oh, like right before that. Does it show? Here, look at this.
Oh, wow.
From his back, hammer fists him unconscious.
Oh, wow.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before in my life.
Me neither.
And that's something that I don't know if you would see that in the curriculum or not, but definitely is an opportunity.
In that position, it's a good place to be.
When guys start seeing it happen, they're going to go for it more.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see fighters go for that.
Well, the Travis Brown, that elbow from defending the takedown.
Josh
once
Barnett, right?
Travis started KOing people. He KO'd Josh Barnett. He KO'd Gabriel Gonzaga. Same way.
Yep.
He flatlines people from that position with those long-ass crazy
Do you
elbows.
take different alpha brain than I do?
What do you mean?
You're sharp. I think you might have some stronger alpha brain than I do.
This is his job. His job is to know this stuff.
I
There
need
is
some
an
of your
Alpha
alpha
Brain
brains.
Turbo that we're working
Really?
on. Yeah.
Is it here now?
No, I have it at my house.
Was it just, is it just a stronger version? Or?
Yeah, it's got some extra shit in it.
See, I was
nice.
asking Aubrey
Yeah.
about that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, take some.
Our original Alpha Brain was giving people headaches. We had to adjust it along the way. Some people. Aubrey says the weaker chin.
I was just going to
amongst
say
us.
that, yeah.
Bring it,
You weren't meant to
up
take off a
structure.
brain, you know what I mean?
Well, it's a dose dependent thing, and it's also there's people that get headaches when they drink caffeine. There's people that can't drink milk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of biological variability. But what this is a more potent version of Alpha Brain. We're pushing the boundaries a little bit, so we're gonna run some tests on it, and so we've got some trials, and I've been taking it.
Nice.
Send me a couple. I'll test it for you.
I'm
I'll
a
give you a
fan.
full review.
You're a fan? Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
It's got some DMT
Yeah.
I
in
love
it,
it.
a little bit of alpha brain.
You know what I really like too? And I've talked about this before. Is Neuro One. It's Bill Romanowski's company. He's got a great nootropic supplement. I like it too. It tastes good too. I drink the chocolate.
I feel like Bill Romanowski now, the way I walk around with all my supplements and stuff. He's got like a tackle box of them.
Yeah.
I do, man. Like when I travel now, it's like I have a whole suitcase full of supplements.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go.
Yeah.
So even if you're on like a couple day road trip somewhere, you're bringing all your supplements with you.
Yeah, or I have those divider packs, but I
Yeah.
have to have like 3 of them.
Right. You
know?
don't fuck around. Yeah.
Even on my hunting trip.
really?
Oh, yeah, man.
Wow.
I was
and you're on
working.
a trip. You eat clean.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
why I busted in those Mountain House fucking fettuccine Alfredos.
Dude.
Drink all those freeze dried. The
Like-
farts are so bad though.
But once you've been like so clean and you know how it feels,
Mhm.
and then after your fight you eat like a fucking asshole for a week,
Yeah.
it instantly just like, dude, I gotta stop this shit. Like I feel depressed. I feel horrible. Like I gotta get back into eating clean. It's
How
like
much time did you take off after the Cody fight? The second one.
food,
Yeah,
nutrition
how
wise,
much-
probably
how
like a week maybe,
A
or
week you
maybe
went-
like.
went hog.
But even then, it's just like not the whole day. It's just
Right.
like I'll have one bad meal. I'm like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Like I'm gonna feel that shit.
What is it about it? Like wanting a pizza because you know you shouldn't have it. Like looking
Right.
at that pizza, go fuck it, we're going in.
Yeah. Well, now I never used to be a sweet tooth, but now it's sugar. It's desserts. Like I used to be more just like, oh, eat more pizza, like steak, whatever it could be. But now since I haven't been eating sugar, I want to drink a soda. I want a donut.
A regular soda.
A regular soda, yeah.
When I drink a regular soda, the first thing I think, I can't believe people drink this.
Oh, yeah, I don't like regular soda.
Like
as
people are
much,
drinking this shit all day long. Because I don't drink it. So when I drink it, my body's like, what the fuck are you doing, stupid?
Like I had a Mountain Dew after the fight at the
That's
room,
right, the room,
and
that's right.
I felt like hung over the next day. You know?
It's weird how your tolerance drops too.
Yeah.
If you don't eat sugar anymore and then you take it in, the first thing that happens to me, like I'll have an ice cream sundae, I just have to sit down. I'm like, ugh.
Dude, the sugar is the root of all evil, man.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
Yeah,
not good for
especially
the
in
body.
high doses.
Yeah.
Like, people that walk around with a 2-liter Pepsi and just chug it.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, how many fucking servings are in a 2-liter Pepsi? And some people drink that whole thing in a day, easy.
Like you see the truck drivers with the big gulps just going on
just
everywhere with it.
Just filling their arteries with
Just
bullshit.
black insides,
Their guts,
sludge.
all that fat, gut fat, just the lower abdominal fat that
Yeah.
pushes into your balls, lifts up your belt. Nick's gonna get another Pepsi.
Just so uncomfortable.
You know what the sodas that are they have like the Zevia sodas. Those ones taste good.
Those are really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Zevias are great.
Those
are awesome.
I drink those all the time.
Me too.
Guilt-free.
Yeah.
The difference between them and a Diet Coke in terms of flavor, I actually like them better.
Yeah.
When I drink Diet Coke now, I'm like, it's kind of fucking chemical.
Tastes like chemicals, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas Zevia just tastes like a good flavor, but it doesn't make you feel like shit. There's no glycemic index. Like, there's no change in your sugar levels. You just taste good.
It almost feels like there's no way there's no sugar in it when you drink them. You
I
know?
know. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, this stuff, stevia is an interesting thing
Yeah.
because too much of it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's got a weird aftertaste, right?
Yeah, you gotta. It's so potent. You just need like a touch.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
when you put it in your coffee, like I'll put it in there like sugar, but then like whoa,
Yep.
it's rough.
It is definitely
What
not
other
good.
stuff does he have you eating that you weren't eating before? Is there any like concentration on like different kinds of greens or?
Dude, I juice like crazy now.
and you're juicing mostly green stuff.
A lot of it. I mean, there's a
Do you blend or you
no,
juice?
I juice. I do
Juice.
a masticating juicer, a cold press juicer. You gotta, because if it's something fast like a blender, it kills a lot of the nutrients.
Really?
And you absorb more. So even if you were just to eat this giant table of raw food, you would absorb less of it than if you juiced it.
Really? Why is that? Because it goes right in your bloodstream?
Something about how your body breaks it down. Yeah, so something about the cold pressed juice is your body's absorbing it more. So
No.
I mean that's like a have to. Even when I'm traveling, I don't have my juicer. I end up buying them, which aren't as good. But I have to drink some sort of green juice every day.
And are you taking it with any kind of fat? Because what I heard about, especially with vegetable juice, that your body absorbs it better with fat,
Yeah.
like with coconut oil or
Okay.
avocado oil or something like that. Do
Yeah,
you do that?
we do. Yes, we have to do a certain kind of MCT oil. I take tablespoons in the day and in at night to help absorb not only that, but then the ubiquinol goes with it to help me like rebuild red blood cells and do a bunch of.
What is
crazy-
ubiquinol?
It's also some sort of oil. I take them in a pill, but some sort of like oil that helps with the transport chain of. Couldn't even tell
have
you.
to get
I'd
Sam
have
in
to
here.
get Sam in here. He'd probably try to hold back.
I want to
but-
get him in here.
Dude, he'd be very interesting, but I almost don't want you to because that's where all my secrets are. You know, it's like
You know,
my
the thing
secret
is about
weapon.
There are
secrets,
levels.
man. There's people that just wouldn't listen anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many people that would
And
they would listen,
I
they
would
wouldn't
listen.
really follow.
But
You
and it's a
would.
full-time fucking job though. You know what I mean? Like you can't be lazy and do Sam shit. Like
I can't imagine how you could be. It seems like you have to be on top of it all the time.
I don't have time in the day to do all this shit that he has me doing as well as training.
So, do you take the MCT oil with the green juice?
You can, or just take it.
And for people who don't know what that is, medium chain triglyceride oil is derived from coconut oil. So it's the more nutritious form of coconut oil. So you can take it. What was explained to me was that you're better off when you're taking something that's as nutrient dense as juice, cold pressed juice, that you really should take it with a fat, and then it'll help your body absorb the nutrients better.
I don't know.
don't know.
He never told us that. I mean,
Okay.
But
Maybe I'm wrong.
no, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't know everything. I'm
When
sure
I
you know, but
take kale shakes, I always add either coconut oil or, I usually add both, coconut oil and MCT oil to it.
I mean, I think that's not bad for you. So
Yeah.
why not? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better or not, but I know it's not bad for you.
Yeah. Now, what is your ratio like fats to protein? Do you know what that is, or does he map all that
He
stuff
maps
out?
all that out, and depending where I'm at and how my body's recovering. But yeah, I'm high fat, high protein diet. You know, low to no carb. Obviously, different kinds of carbs. I have to have carbs, but just like I won't be ketogenic, but I'll get my body into ketosis certain times throughout my camp to make me insulin sensitivity high, right? So I'll eat like simple carbs that break down faster.
You know, they've found that people, even on this carnivore diet, which a lot of people are doing now, they still reach ketosis. They still reach ketosis because they're not taking in any grain, they're not taking in any carbohydrates. And even though your body converts protein through glucogenesis, it converts it into sugars, into glucose. It's doing it in a very efficient way and processing it in a way that a lot of these people are in ketosis all the day. Most of the time. Just not the same like high levels. If you were going like a regular ketogenic diet, I think it's supposed to be 70% fat or something crazy, or 60-something% fat, and then the rest protein.
Wow. Did you tell Jordan Peterson that? Isn't he eating all meat?
Yeah, he's eating all meat. I think, and I had his daughter on recently as well, and it's very controversial. Particularly for his daughter, because his daughter is giving paid nutritional consultation, but she doesn't really have a background in nutrition. But she's just showing people what really has worked for her and her experience and her background. I think her and her father, Jordan, I think he has a serious autoimmune issue, like serious. And I think it's very possible that there are some people amongst us that are allergic to almost everything. Wow. They have allergic reactions to all kinds of different foods. And I think it's really, really rare. I think for most people like you or I, you're really better off eating rich, dark, green, leafy vegetables and nuts and fish and chicken and wild game. And, I think if you get some wild turkey or some, wild pheasants, and you should eat really good, lean, healthy, real food. I think most people can eat apples and oranges and watermelon, and there's no problem. But I think there are a few people amongst us, and I think Jordan's one of them, where his body just fucking rejects things. I think his body has terrible reactions to all these different things, and going on an all-meat diet has cured his depression, got him off on antidepressants for the first time in more than 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
It reduced his weight back to the weight it was when he was 25 years old. I just don't think it's a viable or intelligent diet for everyone.
For the masses,
Yeah, I just think it's a good diet for people that are very extreme in their nutrition requirements because they have some serious autoimmune issues.
If you have autoimmune issues, you should definitely go towards keto.
Yeah.
Sam's gotten rid of my psoriasis. I didn't even know I could get rid of it, but got rid of my psoriasis with my diet. I mean, they say it could be from the stem cells too, but I believe it's from, I did so much stuff, but the diet,
Well, I know several people that have got rid of their psoriasis through that. I think Jordan is actually one of them as well.
Okay.
He had psoriasis, and he also had some serious gum disease that he was having for his whole life, gone as soon as he got on this carnivore diet. And it's just, he's just eating beef. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, he drinks water and eats beef. That is it.
I feel like that's gotta be bad for your
You would think so.
Is that how Brock Lesnar got hurt, right?
Brock got diverticulitis. Anthony Bourdain told me that sometimes people get diverticulitis from all sorts of reasons. From like eating, you could like have a seed, like some seed from some plant that you ate gets stuck somewhere in your lining and gets infected, and you can get diverticulitis from that. He said diverticulitis can come from a lot of different things. I think Brock probably wasn't even chewing. I think he was probably swallowing animals whole.
My dog
out in the wild. He's like grabbing fucking gophers and shit and just chucking them down and screaming naked on the top of a hill.
Oh yeah,
that's sick. Fuck. Yeah. I'm really bummed out that the WWE ever had him. I really feel like if Brock Lesnar had just gone from amateur wrestling,
dude, he was a beast in college wrestling.
He's a beast. Yeah. And if he just completely dedicated himself to mixed martial arts from the jump, he's already, he knocked out Randy Couture. He battered Frank Mir. He submitted Shane Carwin. He already has an incredible resume for a guy that was a WWE star, a multi-millionaire star before he ever fought his first MMA fight.
Yeah.
Just such a savage. It was just beating inside of his heart so bad that he wanted to do it. But came in and did it, really did it. Yeah. Lost to Kane. Lost to fucking Overeem. Beat Mark Hunt, even though Mark Hunt says he was cheating. And seems he might have been correct.
Yeah.
Mark Hunt went on a rant today about Brock Lesnar.
Oh, really?
Called him a cheating piece of shit. And he's mad that he's coming back to the UFC. And he's got like a legit claim.
Yeah. For sure he does. I mean, Brock's only fought the top of the top. He's never fought like a warm-up fight. He's never came in and had a warm-up fight, you know?
I don't watch WWE, but they say he's shrinking.
Oh.
Yeah, they say
So
if you look at him.
USADA's about to come in. So
he's already in a testing pool.
they're going to be knocking on your door. Oh, he already is. That's
Yeah.
why he's getting smaller. They're knocking on your door 6 o'clock in the morning.
That was the problem when he fought Hunt, right? There was some stipulation where he wasn't going to be tested or something.
Yeah, there was some weird loophole.
Well, so he retired, and when you come back, you're supposed to go through like a 4-month testing before you're even allowed to accept a fight. And they waived that 4 month of testing, and they just started like, so he was getting tested once he came back, but he didn't have to have that 4 month of testing without having a fight. This is from what I heard.
USADA.
Yeah.
Boy, USADA's changed the game, kids. Changed the game.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
And I look better than I did back then.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
Jack City right now.
Sam's
I'm
been
feeling
awesome.
better. I'm looking better. Like, it's awesome, man. I'm the professionalism that's going around like around our spots it's just made me continue. I mean, I've always been hungry, but just like the science behind it and me being able to go 3 different weight classes and it being real and just me being the baddest man on the planet has got me like ready to go, you know, like.
That's the only photos they have before and after.
Trying to find a better one.
Pull that one up again. I didn't see much difference there.
You got missed the line. Pull that up, Jamie.
Anybody who stands or sits the way Brock is sitting on the one on the
You're gonna
right,
look in here.
the way his arms are spread wide.
No matter what, he's gonna be big.
Yeah, he's still going to be 265 fucking pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, well there you kind of get it. Yeah. Yeah, he's losing some size, definitely. But he's going to keep a lot. He's definitely going to lose a lot. The thing that's going to fuck with his head, if anything does, is when you are on steroids for a long time or anything that jacks up your endocrine system the way we're assuming he did, when it's over.
Let's assume he's already gotten caught.
Try to talk like a lawyer.
Sorry.
You're assuming he did. His endocrine system's got to be struggling, and he's 40 years old now. I mean, it's
He's
not.
gonna be
He's
producing.
only 40?
Yeah,
He's gonna be producing nothing but
he might
estrogen.
not even be 40. He might be 39. How old is Brock Lesnar? But he's 49 or 39 in Viking years. They age different.
Yeah.
41.
41. Yeah.
Close enough.
He's got to get in now while he can. you know?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So what do you think you did that elevated your testosterone?
I think my recovery, so not redlining my body all the freaking time. I train too hard. Like, I always went too hard. I always wanted to do more. I'm an old school wrestler. Like, more is better. More is better. Train
That's
harder.
not better.
Train harder. No. So my recovery, big time. Listening to my body. Your heart rate variability when you're sleeping, it'll tell you when you wake up how recovered you are and how hard you should push it that day. So being the CEO of TJ Dillashaw and deciding, say, even if it's on the schedule, I'm going to go hard the next day, but I wake up not recovered, call everyone like, hey man, I'm not coming in today. I got to go walk around with the family. I'm not training. Taking it off.
So you know by how many heartbeats difference? Like,
it's not the heartbeat. It's how
Variability.
it's the variability. So sometimes your heart shouldn't just beat every second. It should be like 0.8, 1.4 seconds. Like
Right.
back, like all like the so that'll tell you that your central nervous system is not worn out. So when you're getting sick or you're overworked, your body will tell you from your heart rate that it's about to happen, you know? So
Right.
if you can catch it, and if you don't listen to it and you just keep going, like you go down this deep hole that you'll never come out of, you know? But if you catch it right away, no matter what, your body's always going to do peaks and valleys. But you want your valley to be lower and your peaks to keep getting higher. Valley low, keep getting higher. The way to do that is through your recovery, which is going to help your testosterone production, your growth hormone production when you're sleeping, as well as my supplementation, what aminos I'm taking and why and when I'm taking them. The arginines, the 21 blend aminos, like I take them all different times.
when do you take them?
Usually 3 times a day. Sometimes I'll take certain things at night, certain things in the morning, depending on what it's supposed to do for me. Like my ornithine, my glycine, and my tryptophan I take at night before I go to bed because it's help my testosterone, my growth hormone boost. It's things I'll take during the day because it's better for my energy system, my ATP production. Yeah.
So he's just got all this mapped out for you.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
How many people could he possibly do that for, though?
he would have to teach other coaches to do it, you know. He'd have to do like a mentorship where coaches would come in and they would train underneath him, you know, and then hopefully stay with us. That's the thing. Like if you teach someone too much, they can go do whatever they want and they can have the science. Eventually it'll get out to where you know, you're going to see the tests. You know, you're going to see what he's doing, and people are going to want to come and learn how to do it.
And for heart rate variability, do you sleep with a chest strap and a wrist watch that registers everything?
Yeah, you don't have to have the wristwatch on, but as long as it's close enough to register your heart strap.
What are you using? Which one?
I'm using Suntone, or was it Sunto?
Sonto?
Sonto, yeah.
Oh, okay. They make hunting watches as well.
Yeah, They make
things.
awesome hunting watches.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah, like GPS trackers, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use one of those.
Yeah, those are great. And then, so what do you do? Do you take the data from that and you put it on a PC? Like, how
He's
does it
got an
work?
algorithm, and so went from that. I connect. So my watch is connected to my phone.
Okay.
And then Sam is logged in.
Your watch is physically connected to your phone, or it's through an app?
Through Bluetooth.
Through Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's
okay.
an app. Yeah, so that.
And so the app shows you.
Yeah, the app, I can put in my information and it sends it straight to Sam's computer. So every morning he checks in the morning.
So he logs in and gets your data.
He's got a list of people that he checks, you know, and depending where they're at. Like right now I'm not doing it, obviously. I don't need to just track my recovery. But when I'm in camp, he's tracking my recovery and he'll let me in the morning, like, look, man, you're 84% recovered. Let's pick it up. Or you're 20%. You need to chill, you know? And like you'll decide. So my week to week, you have an idea what it's going to be, but it always changes.
How many times do you think on these days where you looked at the results and said, okay, I'm taking the day off, would you have just said, don't be a pussy and push through this shit?
Oh, yeah. I would have easily. I mean, I don't feel that bad.
Right.
But then my next training practice, like, damn, I fucking feel good.
Right.
I'm primed and ready to go, you know? And so.
Is it hard to do that, to
Yes.
take your foot off the gas?
I've always, even in the past when I've redlined my body and didn't know the science, I've been had to pull back. But now that I know it, it makes it easier for me to do it, but it's still very hard. It's still very hard to not do more.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's taught me, work your fucking ass off. Work
Right.
hard, work harder than the next guy, you know?
But work hard when you're working, but
yeah.
know when to not work.
Yes.
I think that applies to life, too. I really do. I think if you just burn it out all the time.
Just like I was saying, if like it was your sole focus was fighting, I would burn myself out.
Right.
You know, I have to have these escapes, you know?
Yeah.
I have to be able to do other things. I have to enjoy family time. I have to go golfing. I have to go hunting. I have to get on the lake.
Yeah.
And even during fight camp. So I used to be like, fight camp was fight camp. That's all I did, right? But now going with Sam and having these days off, I get to spend more family time. I get to actually do shit I like on certain days. Like I have 2 days off a week and we spread them out at different times. Sometimes I might have 3. Sometimes I might have more, depending if I'm getting sick or if I'm overworked. But I actually get to go do shit. I get to go wakeboard, you know?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else that he's got you doing that's weird that we haven't, like, are you doing any E-stim? Are you doing anything?
I mean, it's always changing. We're getting really big into like the extra recovery stuff, the cryos, the light therapy, the CVAC machines, hyperbaric chambers, when to do them, and how to test everything. Everyone has always known they're good for you, but I don't feel like there's been the exact numbers behind it, and now he's going to track it kind of thing. So we're getting more into that realm of it. I use an Alto lab that helps with me getting my hypoxic state to do altitude training, to where I'm breathing in that for an hour a day, and that's, you know, I'm going anywhere to like 40,000 feet, you know, but there's only like certain like lengths you could do it for, and then you have to take like for instance like doing like 6 minutes on, 4 minutes off, or 3 minutes on, like in tracking what my body's doing the next day. What else we're doing? Obviously my diet, my supplementation we talked about. I mean, just the crazy workout stuff he's got us doing too, you know. Like I said, it's kind of like Rocky training, but it's a shit ton of core work. And his warm-up is not a warm-up. His warm-up is usually everyone else's workout. He's pushing us to our lactate threshold, to where like you want to throw up, you're done, and then we're doing muscular endurance. You know, so we're not doing any kind of strengthening until I've pushed that limit. So maybe I've hit hard ground and pound. You know, when you stand up and you have muscle pump and you can't go, you don't have that anymore because you're used to, your lactate threshold is higher now. So if my lactate threshold is higher, then I'm not going to be able to push myself to where I have that pump, you know. And so get to that point so you know what it feels like. Right, so mentally, if I ever get to that point in a fight, I'll be okay because I've been there. As well as when you get there and you work out past it a smart way, then it's going to increase your lactate threshold. And your lactate, it'll take you longer to get to that point.
So when you're doing strength and conditioning work, you're exhausting yourself before you're doing strength work?
Not always, but yes. Yeah. Some workouts aren't as hard as others, but yeah, the ones that were, like what I've said, the hardest I've ever worked out in my entire life was that kind of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, to where you think like, even especially like when I first started doing it, be like, all right, nice, that was a good workout, dude, good job. All right, warm up's over, let's hit the garage, we're lifting, you know,
Like,
or we're hitting the pool, we're swimming. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's rough, dude. But
Now,
My girl just called me. I need to go, Coach Sam.
yeah.
No,
Oh yeah, saying you're every time I drive up
Look
the
at the
street,
time.
like I know it's strength conditioning day, and I always pull up and like I see the stop sign right before I turn left to get to his house. I'm like, fuck, I could just keep going. Like I don't have to turn left. I don't have to go do this shit. But if you're in the garage and you continue to come back, you're a sicko. You like this shit.
Now, how do you organize that strength and conditioning days, and what precedent, like what importance does strength and conditioning take over skill work? Like, and how do you organize that?
That's something that still is always going to have to be developed depending on person to person who needs more skill, right? And who's obviously you never have it completely, but some people need more skill training than others. And if you're getting in there, like when I first started MMA, I probably shouldn't have done strength conditioning for a year and a half. I should have only done skill because I needed to catch up. But I'm to the point now where each camp changes with technique, and I'm obviously going to continue to grow. And that's why my camps are so long. I'll do more skill outside of camp time and more getting my body ready. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
No, you are. It's just
it always changes.
You don't want to burn yourself out that hard and then spar.
That's
right?
still something I feel like we're even learning with Sam still too. Like he obviously is a wrestler and he knows training and he knows strength conditioning, and that's why we listen to our heart rate, and that's why every coach is. And that's the thing too, is that at our team, every coach is going to talk to each other. They're all on the same page. We know, like they know what days are going to be off. Like no one's going to show up to the gym today. If they do, we're going to go light because we pushed it yesterday. It's never going to be like the strength conditioning coach's job is to kill you. Now you're going into wrestling, he's going to kill you too. Like we're all on the same schedule, so that we know that maybe Wednesdays are our active recovery. So if you're going to go into practice, you're just drilling, you're moving light, you're not going hard because you got killed the day before. So when you're at your peakest, hardest days, your next day is either off or an active rest day. Do yoga. Go do some yoga. Get your mind off it,
And does he have your weeks planned out in advance, or is he doing it day to day? Like how's he? When do you know what you're going to be doing?
I don't know, but he does.
knows?
He plans out everything in advance, and
Like
obviously
the whole camp?
my whole life. For him, camp doesn't, dude. He's like my life coach, man. Like even after this fight, he's like, all right, let's not change the diet. I don't want just rice coming back. I don't want to have to work from ground zero. I want to like stay this so we can keep building. So he's like my life coach, like I feel like I'm cheating on him when I'm eating a cheeseburger with buns on it, but
That's funny.
He's got the whole camp planned out, my whole just continuing to grow, and obviously it'll vary depending on my recovery,
Now with this ESPN deal, I know they're planning on some pretty big events, right? Have they talked to you about fighting on ESPN?
Not yet. No, I mean obviously being the champ, you want to be pay-per-view though.
Yeah. Right, that's where the Kiz Ash is at.
Yeah. I mean that's what it comes down to. You actually you're betting on yourself. When you fight live TV, it's you get a lot of viewers, you build your name.
Right.
But when you have these pay-per-views, you're betting on that people want to watch you because you're
Right.
you. And I've just continued to fight my fucking ass off and go ham. That's gonna be my style. I'm always gonna go pedal to the metal when I fight, looking for knockouts because that's my entertain. That's how I'm entertaining. Like yeah, sure, I'll maybe talk confidence and talk trash. I'm gonna fuck you up, but I'm not gonna go out and be the Colby's, I'm not gonna go crazy. Like it's my
Right.
personality. I want to be able to, I know it's fun, it's awesome, we like those guys, but I want to be able to look back on my career and like show my kid, like, look, that's who I was. Like I fucking stay myself. I stay my true color. I'm an open fucking book. I tell whatever it is,
Right.
But I want it to be like the Chuck Liddell days. You step out there and fucking knock someone out, you get love for it,
Yeah.
Like the real kind of gladiator shit.
Well, it's definitely building for you now. There was a lot of negative energy that was coming your way when you left Alpha Male and when you were on the Ultimate Fighter. There was some negative shit that was coming your way, but it seems like with every victory, like all that stuff's going behind you. And now it's really obvious you made the right choice. And now knocking Cody out twice in a row.
Yeah. I didn't want to do the Ultimate Fighter. They asked me, he's like, hey, so I was like, I want my fucking title fight. Like, I've been needing it for a while. I've been begging for it. And then obviously they're going to give me Cody, be like, hey, we want you to coach the Ultimate Fighter first. I was like, fuck, of course. I got to go coach against Alpha Male. It's like the last thing I want to do. I knew all this shit was going to be fucking crazy. And so I didn't want to do it, but I wasn't going to say no because that's my shot at the title, And I'm fucking so glad I did it because I got to show my true colors. I got to show how much I care about the sport, how much I got to be a martial artist, teach the way that me and Duane kind of do things, very professional, let them be fucking assholes and then come around and have it bite them in the ass, Like it worked out perfect for me because we got to show what really is what,
sorry.
No, go for it.
It was a good opportunity. It was a good opportunity to showcase how to handle those situations.
You get to be your own judge. The more evidence you have in front of you, you get to be your own judge of what actually happened, rather than Uriah and Cody running their fucking mouth of me leaving, me being a traitor, me doing this, me taking PEDs, compared to what's actually going down. You know what I mean? Like, you get to be the judge yourself on who I am. So the more you get to know, that's the way I should look at it. The more you get to find out about me, the more you get to know me.
Did you and Cody talk after the fight at all?
No. I show respect to him, and I never had a problem with Cody when we were at Alpha Male ever. I kind of feel bad for the guy because this wasn't any of his drama. He was coming to the team when I was kind of on my way out. He just started. I was holding mitts for him. He just got into the UFC because we didn't have a coach because Duane left, right? So I'm running the kickboxing classes. Duane left. I'm the only one left there to coach practices, so I'm holding mitts for him and stuff like that. And then I get the ultimatum and I leave, and then he becomes champ, and now it's like all this pressure from Uriah and Team Alpha Male to talk shit and us be the rivals of him was weighed on his shoulders. That fucking sucks. I feel like that's a big flag to have to carry rather than just carry your own flag. Yeah. Carry what you care about. Carry your own fucking flag, right, instead of like, damn, I got all my team that are on my back. Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think for him, he really felt like that team and that family environment is what he needed. That it really, he said Alpha Male saved his life. It meant a lot to him.
Yeah. And where he should have thought that martial arts saved your life. Nice. You know what I mean? The team, it's awesome having a team. It's having, even we have a team now. I say be individualized, but it's really good to have a team because you guys are going through the same shit together. It's good to have friends that are doing the same shit. I can't only have average Joe friends because they don't know what it is to be me. They don't know what shit I have to do to be the world champion. So it's good to have those guys around you. But really, you got to know that martial arts is what's going to steer you in the right direction. If I wouldn't have had wrestling, if I wouldn't have went to college with wrestling, I would have fucking fucked shit up. I just had that personality. I'm really glad that wrestling kept me grounded, and then getting into martial arts, and I'm a very addictive person. Who knows what I'd be addicted to if it wasn't martial arts?
I'm exactly the same way.
At least I found the right things to be addicted to.
I think that's important for so many kids. I think there's so many young kids that are growing up and they have all this angst, and their bodies are anxious and they're filled with fucking testosterone and they just the kids want to break things. I think if you could focus that into wrestling, or
instead of giving them Ritalin, just let them wrestle.
Just any kind of martial art, jiu-jitsu, something. It's just so good for their self-esteem and for just relieving that excess energy allows them to see more clearly, think things through better. It's just so good for them. And unfortunately, you're seeing less and less of that with people today. There's less and less martial arts in people's lives.
That's why I make a bunch of free videos and just lead by example. Like you asked me if I still train. Yeah. Hell yeah, I do. I love this. And again, bunch of free videos and seminars.
Yeah, you can find martial. It's easier access of martial arts right now. Duane's online academy, for instance. You can get technique 24/7. Go do it in your garage with your buddy. Go hit a punching bag, right? Learn jiu-jitsu online. I'm starting even the physical fitness part of training. I'm starting my own academy as well online, to where I'm going to teach you not only the techniques behind it, but how I get stronger at doing them, how I get in better shape, a physical fitness part of it as well.
When is that going to be available?
Probably less than a month, hopefully.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
let me know.
I'll
tweet that. Let people know.
Hell yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it'll be. You can get more information on it now just on tjdillashaw.com. But yeah, I'm gonna start an online kind of. Meeting Duane not only coached me in the technique of martial arts, but the way he's organized everything, how he's learned from Boss how to organize, how to create a system. I've kind of done the same thing. I've not only with just the technique, but the lifestyle, so I'm kind of running with that. And I want to show people. I'm not going to, because eventually I'm not going to hold back and have any secrets. I'm going to tell everyone everything,
Yeah.
And I want to start a champ camp. I want to do a very exclusive champ camp where it's only 10 people can come, and you come and stay with me, live at my house in Colorado, go wakeboarding, but then we also learn the mental aspect of how I think to be a champion, how I eat, how the techniques, take them to Duane's gym.
That's a great.
And I want to, because
that's what we need to do is lead by example, right? Help out, pay
because then I can really feel like I can let loose. I can tell you everything, to where I don't want to tell everyone everything because I'm giving away my secrets. That's who I am. That's why I'm the best in the world. But I love to teach and I love to do it, and I feel like by giving them small groups and giving some intimate time, doing a real champ camp, is something I want to do as well. And I want to start creating this. And I want to create them in places where we can have some fun too, because I think fighting, you got to have fun in this thing. Like you were talking to Donald Cerrone not too long ago, and that guy has to have fun.
Yeah.
If he's too much into the professionals of him just fighting, then he's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And so I want to teach you that I do that shit. My recovery serious, like my nutrition serious, like teach you how everything. No secrets,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, this sport is exploding, and one of the reasons why it's exploding is the guys at the very top like you that are constantly innovating and keeping an open mind and constantly improving. So you're a big part of the whole growth of this thing, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see.
Sir.
So congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations to both of you.
Mr. Rogan. Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Master Splinter.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome, man. I'm a big fan of both of you. Keep kicking
Thank you,
ass.
sir.
And
Always.
please tell people where your academy is in Colorado.
Westminster, 100th and Wadsworth, and we have a super seminar coming up with Sensei Boss Rune, Trevor Whitman, and TJ Dillashaw, October 27th. And then we got the Dillashaw MMA series coming out as well.
Your website is?
bangmuaythai.com.
And
Hell yeah.
And TJ Dillashaw on
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, everything.
It all,
right?
just TJ Dillashaw. No nicknames, no nothing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Thank you, gentlemen. It was
Thank you,
awesome.
Mr. Rogan.